You know how long we've been saying 8 weeks, 7 weeks, 3 more weeks, and now
Yeah,
now
And now
it's
it's out.
it's already here. So
we're gonna be in
Now I
diapers
can
pretty
start
soon
talking
after
about the
this.
Switch 2 Pro. See what's going on.
I hooked up a new webcam, and I'm glad I checked my settings because it had defaulted to the audio of that.
Every
Um,
week I have to
Mm.
double check my shit, man. Because
Okay, I have to
don't
double
mute
check
up.
right now. Is it fine?
yeah, it's good.
Okay.
We would have let you know. Let's see.
Oh, we would.
What's going on? What's going on? We got errors. How long is it gonna take Muhammad to be in here talking some shit? How long do you think?
The true handheld is coming out.
I want to hear his take on Mario Kart. What's it called? What's the shit called? Free roam.
Mario Kart
He had a lot to say
Well,
last
you just
week.
had the Xbox Live. You got like 20 new shooters coming. Like Muhammad is set.
Bro, you got the ROG Xbox Ally X.
So it's gonna be
Crazy.
it's gonna be between 650 and 1,000. So I don't know that they.
It ain't gonna be cheap. It ain't gonna be cheap.
I just
That
looked
is an
at the 2
insane name.
terabyte new
Oh, Mohammed's already here.
LAX.
Say he's sold?
The new Allied X 2 terabytes, $1,000.
Mohammed,
Cool.
that
I
means
mean,
you
it's
made
cool,
no
but
profit.
goddamn, that bitch is not gonna be cheap.
That dude made no
Goddamn.
profit. He's buying the ROG Xbox Ally X for 7.
Anyway, we're not talking about. So yeah, I have a confession to the people that are watching this. I've been kind of downplaying my excitement because I didn't have a pre-order. I didn't know if I was gonna be able to get one. And so a couple weeks ago, I was talking to my buddy at work, and I was like, yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna get one, but I'm gonna try to get the guys convinced that I'm not even gonna try to get one. So I've been kind of laying hints and stuff. Robert, the day before, I think I was like, yeah, I ain't going to GameStop. Like, you're like,
I was like,
you're not even gonna get one. I was
this
like, yeah, I'm
man-
gonna sell
I
my
was-
pro controller.
I wouldn't be the
I
man of that
literally was
shit,
like,
but
how is
whatever.
this man gonna be off and not try and go into this?
I know Terminator Juice too well. I was not believing any of
So
that.
I got up at 3:30 and left the house about 4:10 to go to Myers, and there was nobody in line, and there was 4 employees hanging out. They don't open till 6 a.m. So I parked. They're like, "We're not open. We're not open." I was like, "I know. I'm just wondering what's going on with the Switch too, because the week couple days before I think I told you guys, I asked a guy, maybe I didn't tell you guys, and he was like, I don't know. I'm sure we'll have a sale or something. Like he didn't give me any information. So I was like, so they're telling me that they didn't get any, and they're like, well, maybe if you get here and get in line, we got to wait till the first truck shows up. Maybe they'll have them. And I'm like, what? That sounds off. So, I mean, it's 4:15, 4:20 at this point. I drive 10 minutes away to the next Myers, nobody in line. And there was like a person out by like a scooter. They had like a portable chair, and is this person getting in line? So they went and got in line. And I'm like, it's like 4:40. Like, I'm gonna go back to the other Myers. At least when I want to get my Switch, I want to have a shorter drive. It's close to my house. I go back there. There's nobody. And then all of a sudden, I'm feeling nature's calling me. So I was like, hey, I'm just gonna go home. I gotta do a little business. And I was like, you know what?
Drop a Terminator Deuce.
Yep. I'm just going to relax on the recliner, and I'll just wait. About 5:30, I was like, yeah, I'll just go. I'll see what's up. So I get there. No one in line still. It was like 5:40. Nobody's in line. I'm like, what is going on? I at least want to, if somebody's in line, at least I have somebody to talk to. I see a couple heads in cars, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna get out. I'm gonna go by the door. And within like 3 minutes, guy walked past me the other door. They opened one side up at 6 and the other side at 8. And a dude gets behind me. He's wearing like clothing that looks like he works here. I'm like, you work here? Or are you waiting for a Switch too? He's like, well, both. I was like, yeah, I was told by some employees at 4 this morning that you didn't have any. Oh, we've had these things for like a week. We got plenty of them. And he was like, I could have went in, but I didn't want to be that guy. He's like, I'm not going to be that guy that goes in before the store opens, and I could have been home by now playing, he said. And I was like, well, that's good to know. I'm first in line. I don't know what plenty, but I'm chatting with him. He hates Breath of the Wild. He didn't like Tears of the Kingdom.
What?
Barely touched the Wii U. Like, I'm just like, dude.
I am confused.
And
It's like, dude, we need to
I forget
stop
what.
talking right
Oh,
now
he loves
because I don't even know what to say.
From Software
We're done
games.
talking.
He loves from software games and stuff, and he likes PvP type. Like he's really looking forward to Night Ring. He said. Anyway, so wait there
Jeez.
10 minutes. They open the door 5 minutes early. Walk in. Another employee came in the other door and he was first in line. It's just before 6, and the guy comes out and he chats. He just ignores us all. He just does something on the cash register. He walks away. Fucking 10 minutes we sat there, just waiting. Nobody coming, and I'm like, what the hell? And just chatting with that dude. No one else is talking to anybody. There's like 7 people total, and he wheeled out a cart, 3 boxes. Each had 4 switches there. They had 12, at least 12. I don't know if that's all they had or all he brought out. There was only 7 people in line. I could have got up at 6:15, like my normal time, drove there, had no walked up, probably been a couple people ahead of me and just bought it. So I woke up for at 3:30 for nothing. But at the end of the day,
it's a story now.
I'm like, there's no way they're not getting it. They don't. If they all these other people were showing photos of their stock in these stores like a week in advance. People got their shit early, places. So I got it.
A million of these bitches ready to go.
And I recorded a little video for you guys. It's like I got the Walmart dropped off my shit at like 6 a.m. with like a bag and some Coke and some Pringles just for the Pro
pissed
Controller.
off. I think my fucking driver took my drink and my soda, my chips. Everybody's talking about their chips and I'm like,
all I ordered was this, and they gave me all that. Man, this thing's slippery, super smooth. But and I was like,
you ordered a console and you got chips. That's some bullshit.
I know some people ordered from Walmart. On Terrell's stream, and they had FedEx deliver. I was like, Walmart delivered it themselves to me. Like they were delivering the Walmart truck.
Some dude in the car pulled up.
Yeah, it was like Walmart and delivery service. So I guess certain areas
just
maybe.
Some dude in plain clothes. Some dude in plain clothes in a regular car just rolled up. So here you go. Let me take a picture. Well, I thought of knowing. I'd be like, bitch, where's my soda and my chips at, bitch? You trying to keep that shit in your car?
Yeah, I was. It was cool. So they have recorders. Like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll sell this controller. My cat's like sniffing around, and I was like, lift the bag. I had Robert. He was pretty happy about it.
I honestly literally I didn't expect because like the bag when you said oh it's a nice bag in my mind I felt that bag before. I'm like yeah it is a nice bag.
and
then when he picked it up I was like oh damn.
But I was tired. I thought about going to bed, and then I ended up making some breakfast, and I just turned the system on and transfer process. Like the update everybody was complaining about, like it was like 2 minutes, like tops for the update, maybe
I think
3.
less, yeah, literally like less.
And then the transfer process was like 4 minutes to transfer my entire Switch. Well, not everything. It still had to download games.
Like half an hour.
I still had to download some of my digital games, but so yeah, some Coca-Cola, not some cocaine. But I could have probably used some. I was pretty tired.
I just got.
So Terrell ended up having to go to GameStop because his Target never even shipped. He just canceled it. When did yours show up?
Yeah, I was getting ready to go to work. I was worried because my wife said she worked home, but she said she wasn't gonna be there. She's going fucking yoga. I'm like, you've been in this bitch all week. This is the day you ain't gonna be home. You know what I'm saying? This is the day you ain't gonna be home. You got yoga and shit. Okay, goddamn. And I was a little worried. The porch pirates and shit around. I'm like, all right, what am I gonna do here? Maybe I could call somebody to go pick it up for me. And I think I was getting ready. I was like 10 minutes from leaving, and the fucking car pulled. Who the fuck pulling up in my house this early in the morning? Guy comes out and I saw the Walmart package. I was like, what? No way. He came walking up. There you go. Hold on, let me take a picture. Took off with my soda and my chips. I want my soda and my chips back. Who was that? Who was that driver? But yeah, it was that. I was not expecting that at all.
What time was it?
I got like a message. It was like 6:48. No, I know it literally when it was because it said at 6:46 your package will be delivered in 2 minutes. And I'm like, what? I looked at my phone like this can't be right because they told me between whatever and 10 p.m. and I'm like, oh my god. And then I looked and said, yeah, your delivered in 2 minutes. Your driver should be, or Your delivery should be there. I'm like, what? And that's when I walked over. I'm
Yeah,
like,
they
holy
put
shit.
out a thing
They
saying they
fucking
try to
around?
get everybody's by like 6:30 a.m. You know, like they put out a statement.
Crazy.
So that's
That's
impressive.
crazy. I'm very impressed. Walmart. I will be shopping with you some more in the future because y'all earned a lot of respect from me on that one. I was like, damn.
Yeah.
And Robert, you went to a midnight, right?
I went to the midnight launch, and I was very excited because it was funny because I went the day before just to check. Remember, we were talking last week. It was like, oh, GameStop's are going to do something, and my one said it was going to be like a costume contest or cosplay contest, and and they're going to set up things so people could play. And I get there at like 9 something, and there's not a single person, and they don't have a single cosplay, nothing. I'm like, wait a minute, what the hell? Why? And when I go in, I asked the guys, I'm like, oh, I'm thinking I'm the first one there, and then all of a sudden, they're like, yeah, well, everyone already left. You know, we told them to come back at 11, and we're like, I'm like, wait, what? And he's like, oh yeah, they came at 3 p.m. to essentially get a slip to confirm the number that you're gonna be in line, and then come back at 11. I'm like, what? I'm like, that's the stupidest thing ever. And I didn't know this, but luckily because I didn't get the bundle, I ended up being like the 24th person, which still took me an hour and a half to get the console, even though it was only the 24th person. And there was over 60 some of the people. Like there was over 100 consoles sold, but they separated the line, one for bundle, one without. And they one without the bundle was over 60 people. And I'm thinking time wise, they were probably there till almost like 3:30 in the morning. I'm like, oh my.
Well, that
God.
one I sent you that video. That girl in California, they went earlier and then paid in full. So all they had to do was walk up and they hand them.
But that's the thing. We all paid in full. Everyone's was paid in full already.
Oh, really?
So why would? But for
Why
some
couldn't they
reason,
just check your ID and
they
receipt and
just
give
hand
you?
us a console.
Yeah.
For
You're on
some
your
reason,
way.
they had everyone set up with everyone's name. So they had Robert or me with the game and the Switch, and then they would come out with it, and then they would go back in the store. One person would go back in into the back, for this other dude who bought the camera and everything else, and then they come out with that. I'm like, oh my god, that's a horrible way of doing it, but whatever. I'm like, but it ended up being so long. But in the end of the day, I wasn't worried because it was you had people, the excitement was in the air. I was talking to some, and luckily the people in front of me, the dude did have a Wii U and he did have a GameCube and everything, and we were talking and having a good time. You know, he was talking about he played like 400 hours of Tears of the Kingdom and stuff. So it was the complete opposite of your guy. And then I was talking to the guy on the side. I had this other dude, and
You
they
mean
just
Robert,
talking
Robert, and
and
Robert?
just what
Yeah,
happened?
didn't you have three
You
people
mean
named Robert?
Robert, and Robert?
Yes, so that's the crazy thing is that the dude in front of me was Robert and the dude to the side of me was Robert. But it's funny, everyone, all different age brackets. The guy to the side of me was probably like 60s, 60 something, and the guy in front of me was 36 and I was 26. So it was just funny that, and then all of a sudden he's like,
Three generation. Well, not three generations.
yeah,
Close.
and it was great because it's not like the 60-something-year-old was getting it for his granddaughter or something, grandson. Like it was him. He plays game. I'm like,
Getting it
that's
for
great. You
himself.
know, it was awesome. That was literally
Yeah,
like,
I know people in their 60s
generation.
that play games. That's pretty cool.
it's great. You know, it was
Well,
awesome
you guys
that
are starting
like
to
you
hit
know
that
to
already,
see like
so
all these different
You're not that
generations.
far behind, bro.
We ain't that far. Listen, we ain't that far away.
But then the guy comes out with saying, "Oh, Robert," and he's like, "You both named Robert." I'm like, "Oh my, your name Robert?" And then the guy that Kara's like, I was talking to, he's like, "Oh, you guys go by Robert. I'm Robert also." I'm like, "What? What the fuck?" I'm like, that's insane. What are the odds? I'm like, yes, Robert's a generic name, but like 3 back to back to back is kind of crazy. So it was pretty cool.
I
It was
That
great.
is great.
when I was in
Yeah.
line, I was debating because I do like the carts, the boxes without any of the banners or disclaimers. I think the box looks pretty cool. So I was like, man, should I just get the frickin' physical box so I have it? But now that I'm seeing like videos like this, the internal storage is significantly faster than the cartridges. So I'm wondering if they even use faster storage
Like-
carts.
Like almost twice as fast.
I'm pretty sure it doesn't. I'm not guessing. Like if it took 2 minutes on a cartridge, I don't think it'd be 1 minute internal. Nothing's gonna take that long, but I don't know if it's a pure twice as fast in every situation. But
Maybe I was thinking about downloading or something.
but the SD Express
Download
is
speed.
faster than the cartridge, I believe, on Mario Kart, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody had They had the Switch internal, Switch 2 cart, 128 my SD Express, a 250 SD Express, and somehow they had a terabyte. I didn't know those were available. Somebody paid over $200 to do that test because those were over $200 for the 1 terabyte. And it was internal, and I think it was the 2 smaller SD Express, and then the cartridge, and then the 1 terabyte. I could be wrong, but I was like, dang, like if they didn't use the faster storage with the carts, then why the hell is there only a 64 gig option? So we gotta be interesting to see that how that gets played out.
We'll probably never know.
Because
We'll
Tears
never
of the
know
Kingdom and
why.
Breath of the Wild, Switch 2 editions
Work on Switch.
is just a Switch 1 game with
Yeah.
we hoped. Like literally that's what it should be. Like you should be able, if you buy that, it should be able to be played in Switch 1 and the Switch 2 and just has the update on the cart, so you don't have to download anything. That's what we were hoping. That's not what they said. They literally said only playable on a Switch 2 system. So it's interesting, but I wonder, if we'll see any evidence of like a Switch 1 versus Switch 2 game. Let's say there's an actual game that releases a Switch 1 cartridge and a Switch 2 cartridge separately. I don't know if that ever will happen, if there's actually a difference in the speed, but and so I know Clocked It, his came a little later in the day. Terrell had to go. His Target didn't even ship, even though he paid the extra for the day, same day delivery. He got his refund, and then he went to GameStop, and it's not like he didn't have too much trouble. I think it was the midnight. He went to the midnight. So yeah, that's our launch stories on Retro Death. Unfortunately, you had to postpone your getting
It's gonna
one.
come a little bit
You ain't
later.
gonna have no trouble finding one.
Yeah, but
Nah.
I
Can
don't
we,
worry.
can we give Nintendo their flowers for this launch? Because goddamn,
Yeah.
this shit was impressive.
I think
That's when I was
everybody thinks like they know they're gonna get the switches. You got scalpers trying to sell them, and already like trying to less and less and less. Nothing is selling.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
people
it's
aren't
not
stupid
working.
anymore.
people
Yeah,
try to
people
paint it
aren't
as a
stupid
negative
anymore.
too. Oh, there's 100 of them in the store. Nintendo's this thing's failing like Wii U. Like no.
Yeah. They had
Well,
more
that's-
than 300,000 at launch. That's why they actually had
Exactly.
3 million or so probably, and there's enough for everybody who wants one.
Well, that's what's crazy. Like, I can't imagine going to a midnight launch, and it was over 100 people, and everyone got a console. I was like, damn, man, that's
Yeah,
impressive.
that just doesn't
that was
happen.
impressive.
But a lot of
And I'm
people
not in
have
New
the-
York. This was in Jersey, so it was a small little GameStop
Right.
in Jersey. Like, that's crazy to me. I was like,
There's like a
whoa.
lot of stores, a lot of people are sharing photos that their stores still have multiple ones. I'm confident if I would have the money right now, I'd go out tomorrow, I'd fucking find one. I know I would. Like, I don't
I
worry
think
I
about
don't
Walmart
think
and
you'd have a
Target
problem.
probably have a good amount.
I think it's tougher to get them online right now. Like, you have to actually
Yeah, it says go to
physically
the
Yeah,
store.
you
Yeah.
gotta get up and go. Yeah.
Yeah, like just people trying to spin it as a negative. I look at it as a positive, like you said. They had
It's a
plenty of
huge
stock.
positive.
Most
Yeah.
everybody got one. Guys at work said to go back to work Friday. He was talking about it all day. Like he didn't even really. He had the Switch for a little while, and he wasn't like super sold on it. But he was talking about it all day. He said the PC guy at work, he drove by Best Buy at like 11:30 that night just to see what the line was. He got kind of caught up in the hype of the idea of it, and he would never play it. If he ended up buying one, I doubt he'd ever play it. But he said they were talking about it on Thursday when I was off, and they said somebody they knew went into Target at 5 p.m. on launch day and said they still had some in stock. So
Nice.
so yeah, that was cool.
Yeah,
Part of
that's
that is the
huge.
fact that people don't get off their ass and go to retail stores anymore. I think that partly has something to do with it.
I bet that
obviously,
going to revitalize
I don't know.
GameStop for a while here, for maybe at least
Oh yeah,
next few months.
GameStop was hoping and praying on Switch 2's launch. Goddamn, they needed it.
Yeah,
boy.
yeah.
Did you hear about the people in, I think it was New York, there GameStop was stapling their receipts to the box and it punctured their
Oh.
screen?
Yeah, and it was
in Staten
fucking people's
Island.
screens and shit. I'm like, that's
Yeah.
crazy. I would be
There's a-
pissed.
Well, there
If
was
I
a
saw-
store in
doing that
Staten
shit.
Island.
If
Yeah,
I
there was
saw
one
the
single
staple-
store in Staten Island.
If I saw them
Staple shit
stapling it, I've
anything.
been, dude, don't staple mine. I said that. Do not staple mine. I had already seen an
And-
unboxing, so I knew where it
Oh.
was.
Well, no, so
That-
but I think it had it ahead of time. Like they
Oh.
stapled their.
Yeah, I wouldn't even want a
until
hole. I wouldn't even want the 2 holes in my box. To be honest, I'd be like, can I get a
Me
different
And
too.
one?
I
why
mean, yeah, I agree. Just hand me the
It
receipt.
is a
like
little bit of a
literally,
Nintendo
give me it.
fail too, though. Why you got that thin ass box and then you get the screen pointed up? Like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Why isn't
that's
this
crazy.
I couldn't believe
down?
how small that box was. What did you guys when you saw it? I was like, it's barely
Very
bigger
big.
than a couple NES boxes, like maybe 6
I got it
NES
right here. It's
boxes.
very small. Very small.
That's like half
You
the
got your-
Switch One box.
Look,
almost still.
it's as big as my hand,
It's
which
tiny.
is a big,
Remember where I put
but
mine.
not like it's.
It's
you know,
it's smaller than the GameCube box overall. It's probably some
Oh, it's
dimensions
tiny,
might be
yeah.
a little bigger. But
It's taller. It's it's probably about the same as the Switch One, but it's like taller, and Switch One's
I
box is
feel like was-
longer.
Oh yeah, okay, longer. Yeah, I was gonna say like it
Yeah,
just takes
it's
up more.
longer. It's
Mhm.
more rectangular.
Mhm.
so I'm just gonna share a story of my initial setup. So I had my Switch One. I had a 128 SD card, and I had some of my bigger game, my digital games. So Hellblade's 18 gigs, Resident Evil Revelations 2's 18, Revelations 1 is like 11, and then Doom had like 10 gigs from that wasn't all on the cartridge. I forgot those were on that. It only transferred my system memory, and then I took the SD card out, and it transferred all my screenshots and videos, which I deleted because it just copies everything. My original Switch OLED is exactly as it was. The only thing it did, it transferred Splatoon 2 and Pokemon Legends save data. It can't copy that. It couldn't copy it, so it just transferred it to the Switch 2. So those aren't on the Switch 1, which isn't a big deal. And then when I changed my icon, with the little, I turned my Switch OLED on, and it already had like it's just seamless. But because I had those games on the SD card mode, my Switch 2 was downloading Doom, Hellblade. I didn't know it was not only Revelations 1 and 2. Plus, I was updating all my Switch 1 games because I wanted to play and see how they ran. When it was all said and done, I put the system in the rest mode, took a shower, ate some lunch, and come back, and I only had 70 gigs left on my 249 gigabyte Switch 2 storage. I was like, what the hell? And I'm like, oh wait, yeah, those games were on my SD card. So I deleted Hellblade, deleted Doom. I didn't delete Revelations 2 yet because I was thinking about just I did start a new playthrough of that, but I doubt I'll ever get back to it. Deleted Splatoon 2.
It ain't all perfect.
No. Deleted a
Good.
bunch of games, Switch 1 game, or a couple Switch 1 games I don't plan on playing that were like 400 megabytes for the update. So
Yeah.
I ended up,
did
I
that
got like
too.
106 gigs now, and I deleted all my screenshots and videos off the Switch 2, all my old ones, starting fresh, and yeah, so I was like, damn, 70 gigs, like that's crazy. Before I realized what was taking up all that space, I'll have another 40, 50 gigs once I delete the Resident Evil games and something else that was on there that was like Celeste is like almost 2 gigs, like that little indie game. I couldn't believe that. Starlink was 16. I didn't delete that yet, so I'll get about 60 gigs back. Not too worried.
Yeah, I
at this
still got
point.
Starlink because I have to play it one.
I do
year,
want to
so-
play just to test the HD Rumble because that had really strong use of it, so that's why I didn't delete it yet. I want to see what the HD Rumble feels like on that game. So yeah, I was like, wow, I was in shock. I'm like, holy shit, like I couldn't even play like Split Fiction if I had bought it. I was like, damn, I wouldn't have been able. I would have had to. Obviously, I deleted stuff. It wasn't that big a deal, but I was pretty shocked by how much was actually on my Switch. I don't even have that many. Like my library's not that big, so
Yeah.
so yeah, that was a little bit of a surprise, but other than that, the process was pretty seamless. And the Switch 2, I could play games. It's still downloading games. I don't know if the Switch 1 continued to download while you booted up a game.
I remember. I feel like it stopped.
I think it did stop. Yeah, I think it stopped once you started.
Because
The
I was
game.
playing Mario Kart, and then I would get as downloaded at the top.
Yeah,
It would tell
too,
me.
yeah.
You see that little those little lines under your icon.
Yeah.
And shit?
Yeah.
And it has a little X and shit in the middle. Like, oh goddamn, shit ain't doing nothing.
So I will say, Doc Trey put out a video. Apparently, if you don't have like a 4K 120 HDMI 2.1 TV, some people the Switch doesn't know what setting to go with. So for Sandstorm, his TV is 4K 60 or 1080p 120, and with everything set to automatic, it defaulted to 1080p 120, even though he doesn't have any games that support 120. So he was playing. He didn't even say anything. He was playing at 1080p for like the first 4 days, I believe. And
wait, what? Oh wait, I didn't know. So wait, he
Yeah.
was playing for that long?
And then Robert,
4 days?
I don't know how long it took you to realize your TV
I
defaulted.
realized in the first second.
Yours
I
was
mean-
like HDR on, and your TV's
Wait,
only
and then it went to
1080p with
1080p.
so it defaulted to 1080p.
Well, for me personally, I can see the difference between 1080 and 4K really quick. So like, when I saw I booted up Mario Kart World and it went like that, and I was like, no, what's going on here? That's and then I look and I'm like, oh, because yeah, it's trying to push HDR, but my TV does 1080 with HDR, not 4K with HDR. So that's why I was like, all right, let me turn off HDR in general and then put it back to 4K. And again, for me, it was on the, by the way, it wasn't in game, it was on the splash screen, like the loading screen.
Oh yeah.
Like I could tell personally the difference
I
between
guess that's a
1080 and 4K.
positive when you're sitting this close to your TV.
Yeah,
You
That
see
too,
the
exactly.
definitely-
That too, yeah.
Seriously.
Exactly.
So just a word
Exactly.
for the wise. If you have an HDMI 2.1 TV and you have the switch plugged into that port, some TVs only have 1 or 2 ports that are 2.1. You should have an issue because that means your TV's 4K 120. So I checked mine just because
my God, I can't
Sandstorm's like,
imagine
oh my God,
this.
I just caught this. You better check yours. And I'm like, it says 380,
Bro,
3800 by
old-
2160, 60
Oh
FPS. I
my
don't know.
God. It
I said,
come
if this
on,
is
even the-
1080p, I don't even know what
Days?
4K would look like. It looks so
Bro,
good,
even
but
the OS, like the
I figured that shit
icons
out in
look
4
so
minutes.
much detailed,
Like, this
way
shit
more
ain't
right.
detailed than in 4K.
so just in case,
4
if
days, bro.
Oh my
you
God.
got an older TV, I've seen that happen with a Blu-ray player. A guy had a
Was he
T-
playing on a CRT?
Well, the thing is, he just bought a new LG 4K 120 TV, like, I don't know if it was late last year, early this year, and I'm like, dude, you should be fine. He's like, oh, I'm not playing on that TV. I'm playing on this old one with I don't know where he was in his house. I'm like, oh yeah, hook it up, dude. Hook it up to your new TV. Like, you won't even have to mess with it. And I can't. I don't know. He didn't reply back. He said he was gonna check it out and hook it up. I'm curious to see
That's
what he's gonna
baffling
think
to me,
of how
I
much
can't-
better it looks.
That's crazy to me.
Curious.
In a new era of Nintendo and all that, and I did not notice. Like, to me, like, again, the OS, I could tell right off the bat. I'm like, oh man, look at these icons, like so clean, just compared to the Switch One, like Smash Brothers Ultimate. All the icons just look clean, just off the bat.
Yeah, my transfer process was I did the shit. I went to bed, and it was all downloaded from my Switch One. Got up. I will say I have run into games that don't work or that crash.
I see you had a bunch. I didn't know if
Um,
you booted up all those games. I saw some random games on your history. Like, was T playing?
Yeah, I was running through just. No, I was running through just check it out because and it was a couple games. I can't remember the other ones, but the main one was Grid Autosport. whatever
Yeah, I
they call
remember
it.
seeing that
Game.
wasn't going to work,
Yeah,
or
that game went.
you think they would have had a.
Yeah, but it passed that
Patch.
shit. I want to play Grid, motherfucker.
I was surprised almost every game but Metroid Prime Remastered of my physical collection and digital needed to update to work on Switch 2. Metroid Prime Remastered, the only one that didn't need an update.
Weird. I wonder why that didn't need an update.
Yeah,
I
it
don't
didn't. I went to click that and that shit started.
Or
right
maybe
up.
they
I was
already
like,
put the update out in advance, and it just, I
yeah,
don't know.
weird.
But I will say, just to, I guess, go through some negatives for me. I was worried. You remember the whole debacle about how I hold the Switch? I can't hold the Switch 2 like that. It's too tall, and my thumbs, to have my thumb where it needs to be, it's just my tips and my pinkies are the only thing that can hold it. So I can't hold this thing comfortably. I have to like hold it down in my lap and look down because I can't hold it up like my Switch OLED. It's a bummer, but at the same time, I'm not too worried about it. Most of the time I'm gonna
I
be laying
played
there.
it held for about 1 second maybe throughout this whole time so far.
This
Well,
shit is night and day. I play a lot more. This shit is night and day better to hold
Is
in my
it?
hand
For
than
me,
the Switch
it's
One.
almost
Night and
unholdable.
day. What?
If
This is way better. Like I still wish it was a little thicker, a little bit more
A little
girth.
Yeah,
girthier.
But the length of it is so much better for me. I still wish it was wider.
It's slippery too. The plastic is slippery.
You want some girth? Some girth?
I need to be thicker and wider. Yeah, I still wish the Joy-Cons were wider, but
Yeah.
I can play like this in handheld mode comfortably.
Have you
so
now? What about this, T? Have you been playing? I've been the whole time. I've played with the Joy Cons, like separately with the wrist straps.
I haven't.
Even as a
I haven't even used my wrist strap's been chilling. I never even touched them bitches.
You should
I
try because it
touched
adds a
one
little bit of like length to it. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
The weight is fine. I'm
Okay.
cool with the weight.
No,
And
no, not
Split
even the weight.
Joy-Con
It just adds a little bit of like I don't know. I like it.
girth.
Yeah, a little girth.
Little girth.
Essentially, imagine if this is just a little extra vein.
Jesus. Immature.
No, I like Split Joy-Con works for me. It's kind of worked on Switch One. I played through all of Breath of the Wild like this. So
yeah, but it feels better.
I
than
didn't
a
try
little bit
split Joy-Con, but the
yeah,
grip, I literally didn't
A
make
little
it.
bit, you know.
With the grip, I didn't make it 30 minutes. My hands were cramping and literally
I want
hurting.
that
Yeah, I
HD
don't like the
rumble.
grip. Yeah, I don't like the grip.
So that's when I decided to
I'm
unbox
cool with the grip.
the Pro
I
controller.
don't love it, but
It's
I'm
to
not
me,
a
it's
fan of it.
minor difference over Switch One. Like it just needs
I
to be.
just
If
like
it was
the-
wider and more like if it could angle out
the angle.
right
it needs to
one,
be
that
angled
would
if
out.
be
it could
amazing.
angle out, that would be nicer. Yeah.
but then it would be
I don't
at
know
the
why
wrong.
they didn't just do that. It's like it's affecting anything. They could have angled that bitch.
Because
I
my
mean,
thumb
that's fine.
to go straight up like that when I'm holding it, it's a lot harder than if my thumb was sideways.
Yeah.
Then it would be easier. But the speakers are amazing though. I don't know if you how much you played in Portable T. I couldn't. The bottom one,
And speakers are
there's ones on the
fantastic.
bottom that if you're having it set on something, like if you're laying down, I had it on my chest, it blocks the speakers. But I was like, holy shit! Like this is that's a night and day difference over Switch One.
that little gate. I mean, it looks way more premium than the original Switch. Like, it's just looks better. The little look. I'm guessing it's aluminum gate at the bottom because you have the grill, but then you have like this aluminum film over that.
Oh
This
yeah.
makes it look so much
I will
better,
say
and
that
gunk
kickstand.
and shit is not gonna get up in there. You know, that's my favorite thing about it. You're not gonna get a bunch of gunk
Yeah.
in there.
Kickstand's a little, if like trying to get it open, it's kind of you got to do both sides together. You can't just go up on one side. It's kind of
You sure? I
could
when
see
I
it-
did, I just did one
I could
side,
see it
the
bending
one in the middle.
if somebody's not careful. Yeah, it goes, but I guess I just didn't feel the resistance was a little more than I
Yeah.
expected.
You probably
But
shouldn't be doing.
I could see this
that's-
bending
but
though
that's
in the
what's-
middle for sure if you're not careful. If you're like
Yeah, but even if
Doing
it
it
bends,
one
like
side.
what you know, I mean, like
that
it's
would
really
throw
tough.
everything
like,
off. But yeah, it'd never go back
Oh, I
to.
get
I mean,
Yeah,
I like
get
the
you, I
fact
get you.
that it's so thin. I wish it was a little thicker. That's another thing.
Jesus Christ.
I wish
Let's not use
They could've
thicker or
used more of
girthier anymore.
well, yeah, they could have used more of the back
Yeah.
to make it.
I think it would make it a little
They
sturdier.
could have
little
given
bit
more
more.
of a dump.
No?
All right,
I mean,
Retro.
the OLED,
That was
It's
just
perfect.
sad.
Retro, is there anything about the Switch 2 or its operation or anything that you're curious about that you wonder if you can think of?
You gotta come back to me. There was something I wanted to ask and I forgot what it was. There was one specific thing I wanted to know.
I
I
will
don't
say,
fucking remember.
if there's anything you need to know, just pay $10 and get the tour.
I
know
saw
everything
somebody
about the
playing that.
console.
Oh, Roy Relapse was playing it earlier today.
I,
But,
wait, I said one day, 1 year, you're gonna end up seeing me play it. I mean, I ain't even gonna lie to you, but it won't be now.
Mhm.
It will be 1 year, one day.
Yeah, Falcon Black.
I
If you don't have the 1440p setting, then your TV doesn't support 1440p input. Also, he asked about Mario Kart tournaments. There is no tournaments. That's
Oh, that's right.
there's
I
some
didn't think about that.
negatives. We'll get to the Mario Kart online negatives
I did not think
in
about
the
that,
game
that's
chat,
right.
but I will say
There's gotta
before
be something because they announced the Invitational. Maybe it's gonna be an update at some point. Who knows? They
That
announced
is
the
true.
Mary
I don't know
Kart
what they're-
Well, I
Invitational.
bet you the invitational is going to be a local play amongst them.
Could be.
Maybe.
You
There's no
think?
tournament option right now. All you
Maybe,
can
I don't know,
do
maybe not.
in your friends lobby
Well,
is
yeah,
do
I'm
versus
sure.
races, knockout tour, balloon, and coin rush. That's all you can do. And you can't send invites. You can set a code and tell people, or your friends can just join. You can't send out invites for the game, and you can't and you can send out invites for game chat, but only, like, let's say I sent out a game chat invite to T, Robert, and Retro, and you guys join, and then Clocked It jumps on. We can't just add him. We got to close that game chat, all get out of it, and
Yeah.
then resend it with all 5 of us.
Yeah.
So that's hopefully something they'll patch
That
out.
should be updated.
Because that was annoying. Because I was like, oh, Crazon now. Damn it, we got to close the chat and open it back up. And then, Clocked It's joined back. Oh, shit. Now we got to close the chat. And then...
I will say, I think, and this is dumb, you shouldn't have to do this, but I think you might be able to, or maybe not, I'll have to check. I wonder if you can invite people that are offline, so when they come online, it's
You
already there and
can.
they can join.
You can. I created one when Clocked It was offline just so I could test some new
Yes.
camera.
Oh, that's
setup.
right. I did it. I did that too. I tested the webcam.
So,
That's actually that's what I wanted to ask. So you guys did the webcam play, right?
It's
Mhm.
it's awesome.
Right? Did you do the thing where you see the gameplay underneath? Is that what you did? So is it as choppy as they showed, or
Well, the gameplay's
is it
choppy.
maybe-
It was always going to be
yeah,
choppy.
gameplay's choppy.
Because the
I was
game...
just wondering if maybe it would be a little bit more smooth.
No,
the
it's,
actual
No,
game.
generally you don't need it to be smooth like that.
I can
It's
look
all good,
down,
to
see
be honest.
exactly where they are in the game. And
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know where you're at.
What's not choppy is the camera. The camera's fine.
So
like,
here's
that's
what's
full
cool.
FPS.
It automatically deletes your background. So I was
Yeah.
wearing this shirt earlier. My couch it was just me.
Yeah,
Imagine my
it's
live
full box.
streams I used to do with the green screen. On the window they see of me, it's just the game. And then, like, in the bottom right corner, just a small version of me. Or you can have it just do your face. And then your face becomes in the game over Mario Kart. Robert's live face and Clocked It's live face, as they pass me, above their cart is their faces. And then when you hit them with items, their faces spin around right on the screen. It's freaking
But that's
awesome.
live moving, right?
Yeah, like he's driving in front of me, and I see Clocked It's live face hovering
Yeah.
over his cart.
That's pretty good.
It was super cool. Like, it was so funny. Like, I love. And then also, you saw I took a photo that on the rankings they'll also have us, like, our faces.
Yeah, the
there. It's like,
leaderboards
ah.
it has our faces instead of our
Uh-huh.
characters icon. So I
That's
actually
just nice, man. It's a little thing that's nice, and also, you know, people maybe don't know, you don't need to buy the Nintendo Switch camera. If you have a webcam, just plug it in. and
Logitech
most of the
work.
time it's gonna work.
So right now you're seeing me through a $15 web camera I bought, and it looks just as good as my Logitech, except my Logitech has a thread on the bottom, like a camera mount thread, so I can use it on a tripod. So I have my Logitech camera. You can select you can select the camera, and then you can select which microphone. You can use the internal switch microphone. You could use the microphone of your web camera, which I have like 3 feet from me. Or if you had a headset plugged into your Pro controller, the audio jack, you can use your headset microphone. Like
Which
what
they
you're
never
wearing,
confirmed, so
Retro,
it's
you
nice
can
to
plug
know.
that into the Pro controller and your microphone, and it was crystal clear.
Mhm.
And I wasn't expecting game chat to be as, I thought it looked cool, but it's like I don't want to. If I'm playing Mario Kart,
It's great.
I want the game chat on. I don't want to play it without the game chat on. Talking to them,
Yeah,
talking
man,
to the
I think
It's
guys.
behind a paywall, Juice. It's been behind a paywall.
That-
Okay. Your
the
C
sa-
button is behind a paywall.
the same paywall
I
that takes to
thought it
play
was-
online.
You know what's funny is I thought it was.
It
I
is
thought
the
it was
stupidest
interesting-
argument I've ever heard, man.
I thought it was interesting that like we were testing out the mic to see how sensitive it was, because I was like, you know,
Oh,
when
yeah.
you see in the trailers and stuff, you know, there's gonna be a whole lot of noise. It's like, how are they gonna really use noise canceling to the full extent? And dude, I literally whispered, like,
Hold our
I would say, like, literally just, and I'm sitting backwards, my Switch is down there, and I whispered a sentence and they heard
We
it.
heard it
I was
crystal
like,
clear.
You're
damn.
talking about the
That's crazy.
actual camera or the mic and
The mic on the
No,
switch,
this
on
is
the
the
top
mic,
of
the
the
mic on the
switch.
switch.
Oh, okay.
It's
Yeah.
somewhere on the
The mic on the
top. I'm not
switch.
sure
Built
where.
in mic, you mean?
Sure.
Yep.
Okay.
It's probably this hole
So,
here,
like,
maybe. No.
So that
that's-
mic that
one of
I thought
these.
for sure would be trash is actually really.
And
good.
I have my Switch 10 feet away in my cabinet, and above the Switch to the top of the cabinet's like 3 inches. It's in a cabinet. It was echoey,
Yeah.
but when I did the test, I'm like,
I
holy
would have
shit.
never been able to know though that that's what it was. If you had to quiz me like where do you think it is, how far do you think it is, I would never say it's 10 feet away inside a cabinet. Like I would never think that.
And Clactus
It's
was
really
behind
good.
his TV, like 5-6 feet away, and you could hear him perfectly clear. And then their voices come out of the TV, and it doesn't pick up their voices. It's actually
up
really
theirs.
impressive.
It's overpriced,
Super
guys.
priced.
It's hardware is overpriced.
And I gotta say, like, you gotta set up a phone number. It took getting a text message to authorize it, and I think it's awesome. I love it. At the same
it's great.
time, not every game. I'm not. If I'm like playing like if I was playing like Cyberpunk or like Xenoblade
You won't
Chronicles,
want to be in.
yeah, I'm not
like
gonna
a
want to
Slayer
be
game,
chatting. In that
No, of course.
situation, seeing how like
course.
okay, we had Clackta in Wales, we had Cray. I don't know if Cray played with us with Clack. Yeah, he did. He's in California. I'm in Michigan. Robert's in New Jersey. We're all online, sharing our screens. Three of
And
us had our
Terrell was
cameras
also-
on. Not even a hint of lag. Not a hint of
Yeah.
clocked it. Never jumped around on screen. Perfect the whole time. Like it was impressive as
And
hell.
it's from Nintendo.
And it's
folks.
Nintendo. We're like, I had to stop and say, dude, we're all chatting. We have our faces above our characters on screen.
on screen. Yeah.
Flawless, no lag whatsoever. It was the most flawless. Like it was like we were all sitting on the couch playing it. It was that flawless.
Yeah.
It was one of the more flawless Nintendo like online experiences. No
Yeah.
characters jumping around. No like you hit them with the red, and you're like, oh, that's bullshit. You know, like that. Why didn't they get hit? No, one time I thought a character I hit maybe stayed ahead of me a little further than they should have, but it just was smooth. I was just like, I'm impressed. So I gotta give
Super
them props for that.
Me too.
But like I said, it sucks that when you start a game chat, if somebody else jumps on,
Yeah, see,
it's probably similar
longer.
volume overall, maybe.
Sure, it's the same value. And then now I'm looking at my OLED, and I'm like, well, that box
OLEDs is
is pretty
smaller
close.
too,
But it's still, it's thinner.
but being a bigger
What about
system,
the Switch Lite? I'm assuming the Switch
the
Lite
dock
way
is bigger
tinier.
and the system's bigger.
Switch Lite, Switch Lite is like a little
Way
box.
tinier.
Did you,
Huh? Oh,
Robert? You have
This
what?
guy bought like a fucking YouTube subscribe button thing in the back so I should just move to that shit.
subscribe,
and the bell
bitches.
and the bell notification and the bell notification.
So
Yeah,
that's
got the
fine.
bell notification on that bitch too, cuz.
also,
And also, yeah, Juice, I think you better bring up. But I still was on Wi-Fi. I don't have anything wired. So it was really good.
I was running wired, and the Switch app is I love it. It shows all your screenshots.
And I've been
Like,
sharing a bunch of screenshots.
Easy. I don't know if it's gonna.
Bullshit.
Easy to download the videos in seconds. You know.
Mhm.
See,
Yeah.
can't tell.
Fucking cup now.
When you hit this capture button, if you hit the home button immediately after, it takes you right to your screenshots. You don't have to go to the menu.
Yeah.
It's just instant. I just gotta say, Nintendo, the HDR in Mario Kart World is phenomenal. It looks amazing. Yeah, there's you got 2 settings to do when setting up HDR. I couldn't believe it. We just kept going to photo mode when it was Robert Clacton and I. We just kept driving next to each other, making our characters do poses and taking photos. It's just like, at some point we're gonna race, right? We just gotta get out of photo mode. Sun's setting. We're like, all right, we gotta quickly get a photo, but that was the first day. So
yeah, it was like we gotta take a photo. It's all 3 of us here. Let's do it. Oh.
That's how we did it in like Animal Crossing. And
Yeah,
like
yeah.
5 years from now, you're gonna look back at those photos, man. It's so
Exactly.
cool.
and just like the
Exactly.
Switch One, but even more so when you take a screenshot in docked and then look at it in portable mode, it's sensational. I could tell, not significant, but I can tell the screenshots I took in portable mode versus the docked mode, and it's just like there's a breath of what, like this shot, you know, obviously it's not gonna come through. This shot I took in docked, and it looks terrible in the camera here, but like
yeah, I was gonna
on
say,
my
like,
in
there
my
it
port,
is.
like what I'm looking at
True.
is stunning. Like it's stunning. And Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild looks good, but Tears of the Kingdom, there's your leap retro that we argued about. The difference between Tears
Okay, that's the one I'm gonna
and
get
Breath of the
first.
Wild is noticeable with the Switch 2 editions. The 60 FPS.
Just like I always said.
Because
It just took another
But Tears of the
generation.
Kingdom, Tears of the Kingdom doesn't have what is it called? Zelda notes.
it doesn't.
It doesn't.
Went
Are you
over,
sure?
like,
I
the
thought
lead
I thought it was on also
I
Tears of the
thought-
Kingdom.
Oh, I thought it didn't.
It
have
said the
that.
feature was there. I just don't know. I didn't test it, but so you know
Have you
this.
guys played that? Like that sounds like something I would actually.
I
go
tried,
back
but
and do in
I
that
started both games over, so I don't know if you can
Oh.
see. Like this is the starting area on the Switch 1. I mean, it looks terrible on this camera, but on the Switch 1, I couldn't wait to get out of this area because all the orange and the white, it was so blindingly bright, washed out. I didn't want to leave the starting area in Tears of the Kingdom. All the fog, the clouds look way better than they did. All the trees, the leaves, everything's so sharp. It's just like
It looked better than PC.
I'm like, yeah, it looked. I don't know if Breath of the Wild looked close to what I'm used to seeing on PC, but Tears of the Kingdom already had better textures. It was sharper than Breath of the Wild, so and it's a smaller update though, which is weird. Maybe because it needed less help to get there, but yeah, I started Tears of the Kingdom over and I played that for a couple hours. Like I didn't want to stop. Like I'm sucked back in and but I will say I went
for that.
through the hour before the podcast. I played a bunch of games in portable mode and just to see. And I was surprised by the one that was the least impressive looking. And it showed really evident, the Switch 2 portable mode was 720p at max, but a lot of games were below that, like 480, 580, 540p, and with no upscaling. Bayonetta 3 looked terrible on the Switch 2 portable on the screen. Like I turned the
It was
HD,
like,
I turned the HDR off, thinking that was the issue. That game must be 540 or 480. It looks bad, like really bad. So I was
Xenoblade
like,
Chronicles 2 levels are bad.
so I was like,
in portable
let me get
mode.
Xenoblade Chronicles 2 out because that's going to be worse. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 must have dynamic resolution scaling. I didn't think it looked that bad. I mean, it still looked, don't get me wrong, it didn't look great. I thought it looked better than
Yeah.
Bayonetta 3. Like, I was surprised.
You thought what about Hellblade?
I
I
deleted
know
that.
you-
I played it on the TV.
Oh.
I played it on the
fuck that.
TV, and I was like, I was hoping that would like hit the max resolution and look pretty clean, but like a few feet past the player, the textures are just blur. So, I didn't play it in portable
I
mode,
don't know
but
about y'all. I will say my fucking internal storage is gone. That shit is
What?
gone.
yeah, you
What's
got
that?
all
My
those
internal storage
games.
is gone. I had a ton of games, and I had to, like beat DC Online, which I didn't want to do. God damn. Because I have an amazing character, and then it looks like Captain Planet. Took me a long time to
In
get
what
my
game?
character to look like Captain Planet. DC Universe Online.
Oh,
You don't. If you delete, you
No-
don't. You're not
nobody
deleting
plays
the
this.
save data.
Wild dedication for Captain
did you delete the
Planet.
game or the save file?
If you delete
Huh?
the game, it's fine. You don't have to
Did
delete.
you delete the
file.
save data?
No, I deleted the game. No. I'm not saying I lost anything. I
Okay.
was saying
Hmm.
I had to delete the game because
Yeah, those
It sucks
express
'cause I wanna
cards
play it.
aren't cheap either. I mean, it's $60 for a
No.
256 ain't bad, but you're gonna use that up pretty quick.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean that might be good enough for me because I don't plan on downloading anything. So
I don't know why you can't use
That
a
might
standard
just
SD
be-
card for your Switch 1 games. That seems kind of silly.
for your
but-
old, you think you would use that for old games, but I don't know.
So I didn't try
'Cause that's
how.
all
Probably
the
didn't
other
want to
consoles
Oh,
overcomplicate
somebody
it,
said
right?
right?
Bayonetta is stuck in 480p in handheld, so that's why it looked that bad.
Okay.
I wonder what
They
it.
wanted to keep that 60.
I wonder what it got in docked. I wonder what it got up to.
480p. We're talking about Wii U levels.
But Nintendo Life
Okay.
and not Nintendo
The
Life.
gamepad, yeah.
What is that Switch?
Pad levels of visuals there. Woo. Resolution.
What the hell's that channel with the guys, the two European guys at Switch? They're
Switch
testing
Force?
a bunch of Switch 1 games, not Switch Force. No,
Oh.
I hate Switch Force.
He's not European. He's just
European
American.
Um,
guys.
And
Switch up.
Switch Up. they've been doing testing like
Switch up.
crazy.
Oh yeah, Switch up.
Witcher 3 looks significantly better and runs at a lock 30 like constant.
I'm curious. I gotta go put that bitch in. See how that bitch looks. Not that I need it.
The Grand Theft Auto trilogy looks visually improved and runs locked. There was one that was like even more significant.
I got screwed by myself because I only have the standard edition. I guess the standard edition of Cyberpunk 2077. So I can't go back to Xbox with my Cyberpunk save until I buy the goddamn DLC. I'm like, God
really?
damn it. Yeah, I have to buy the what's it called? Liberty.
Even if you don't start it, even if you don't start the Liberty City or whatever.
No. Yeah, it doesn't matter if you start it or not. You have to have that version. You have to have the DLC because the Switch version is everything together. Gotcha. So I was at least able to send my save over to the Switch, but I can't get it back until I buy the DLC. Fucked up.
Hey man, that means you just gotta play the DLC on Switch 2, yo.
But yeah,
there's everything. I can't play my save anymore. I can't use my save back onto the Xbox.
I know, but now that means you just gotta play on Switch 2 throughout the whole thing.
Oh no, I don't want to do that.
Why not?
So I can have. There's a difference. I like the visuals on my Xbox.
Yeah, the guy did a performance test in the Switch 2, Switch 2 version in combat situations dropped to 20 FPS. Mm-hmm. So it's not the smoothest, but he was like, visually it looks very close, but performance-wise.
Yeah, visually, but you can tell performance.
But what was the game? Mortal Kombat 1?
I was expecting that. Play that's
you're
gonna have some fall off from that. That's fine. I'm expecting that. I just don't want that. I don't want to play it docked. I want to play docked on my Switch. I would rather play that on a beefier console.
Gotcha.
But yeah, some games that got free, not even like Switch 2 upgrades, got some pretty significant improvements. Borderlands 3, I think, got pretty decent. Mortal Kombat 1 looks quite a bit sharper. Not quite. It's a decent amount. Runs a perfect 60. So there's...
What was the one game that was running like ass?
So backwards compatibility boost mode is confirmed. They just didn't say it in the direct. That's...
weird.
But like the Outer Worlds...
Yeah, Nintendo's weird.
The Outer Worlds runs better, but it just shows the really low quality textures show up even more because the resolution's a little bit higher. Because it can hit the top.
Oh yeah, no YouTube. I'm sure that'll be fixed.
They said they're coming out with one. I didn't check to see if I don't think Rocket League. I didn't even see it in my list of games. Let me see if it's even in my library. I can't even go back to
Rocket League on Switch.
It's going to be the Switch version, so I wouldn't really want to, but I don't remember seeing it. It's not even.
Age of Calamity.
It's not even in my my library.
Age of Calamity. That's not the game I was thinking about. There was some game.
I didn't play it yet.
No, I'll just say that one. That one is also stable.
Yeah, I heard Age of Calamity was.
But also,
I think you're thinking of Breath of the Wild.
I saw Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition doesn't actually run at lock 60 on Switch. It's like 45 average. But Switch 2.
Wasn't it like the dildo game?
Dookie on Switch.
The Saints Row, wasn't it that? I don't know if you're thinking third party or not.
Oh, Arkham Knight?
Arkham Knight runs better, still looks like ass, and it still has choppiness.
Yeah, it runs way better, though. It runs way better. Like, I wouldn't touch it still. Like, I wouldn't that way. But goddamn, it's crazy that it runs that much better.
Yeah.
So, it's...
If they give it a patch, I bet it probably look really good if they actually patched it.
That
they should do, and shouldn't be selling shit like that. Shame on you for putting it out there like that. Anyway, you should patch that bitch for free of charge for everybody who has it.
Hogwarts ended up
like...
with a free upgrade, didn't they? Or was it a $10?
Yeah, they did.
Maybe it was $10
free, I think.
No, it was $10.
Was it $10?
Yeah.
Fuck them. Fuck that.
But
honestly, that makes sense though. There was a whole they had to again. It's not
It
like,
does look a whole lot better. I'll give you that.
but it's
That
not even
looks
like
a
it's literally
whole
it's a
lot
separate version they had to make, so it was
We do
development
have
time.
a
Because
Switch
yeah,
to
they
get-
put work into that. You gotta like recoup some of this cost. So yeah.
I see that on Xbox all the time for nothing. They don't charge you nothing. So
Yeah, but the Xbox didn't have the Switch One version. They built the
PC
Switch One
also.
version.
Well,
The
PC
Xbox
does this
was
shit
not-
too.
Was it?
Yes,
PC
Witcher
has
3
free
looks
passes or free
massively improved.
upgrades
No, but
all
I'm
over
saying
the
yeah,
place.
but none of them had to create a Nintendo Switch One version. Like that's a completely different
Like,
development
I think
style.
Hogwarts Legacy specifically
ain't
is
that
like,
my
it's
fault.
like fucking 2 generations later.
It's
and
no one's
shit.
fault, but that's why they got to charge at least $10 for it. Like, damn, they're like,
They don't gotta
you know,
charge. Trust me, they don't gotta charge.
They don't
they
got
will.
it, but they. I don't blame them. I mean, come on. I don't think it's that.
And you're part of the
much of a
problem,
thing.
Robert.
I
I
don't
know,
know.
right? You trying to
Like the-
advocate for
so The
charging
Witcher, I mean, it's not a Switch 2 edition, but The Witcher hits its
It's completely
target
different.
resolution, and they probably could get 60 if they took the 30 cap off. I mean, it doesn't look amazing, but if
Oh,
you
they will. And see they will, and see how much
look
they
at Switch
charge
1 though,
CD Projekt Red.
look at that. Oh, it's not the same area. I wish they would have done the same area.
Do you still have
Yeah.
this boost mode on like the fucking stream? Like this is like exactly what the game is.
Yeah,
like, or is it, like,
this is still the high quality. I still have
that
the
is, like,
Nitro.
Which
wild.
yeah, ooh. Witcher 3 actually is
So this area
it's
doesn't
a
look mine.
decent
But
looking
if
game.
they did the side by side video I watched, it was noticeably sharper, and Ryan's perfect. They could probably hit 60 with it if
Yeah.
they don't improve the. But they might actually go through and put a Switch 2 free update out. You know,
they,
because this
Yeah,
looks pretty clean to me. Like this.
it
I,
depends on
of all companies, I feel like CD Projekt Red would go back and like, hey, we got this.
they probably just put out a new version of this, but it's just
I can
So-
see that happening.
But as far
The
as
Switch One version sold really well, and it was outselling the other consoles.
yeah, it
for,
did.
like,
It's sold over 1 million, didn't it? Didn't it sell over 1 million?
Well, but I saw their one of their sales for like literally for 4 years it was selling better than like at least the Xbox version. It was selling better than that one for like 4 years straight. It was crazy.
People
I
are
would
like
say
me.
Scarlet and
like,
Violet was
what?
one of the bigger
Y'all
transformations.
did what?
We covered. I think we talked about that last week. There was footage out already, but Scarlet and Violet, like,
Transformations, you say?
to me, that's
you mean,
like a different game. Like,
Frame rate.
and the resolution, draw distance, Pokemon on screen, everything. It's a
Well,
complete.
yeah, I mean, like, sure, they can update all of that, and I finished that game. I completed it, but like, it's
Which
still
one?
an empty fucking world. Like, it's still kind
Well,
of.
there's-
Okay, can we?
There's like 10
So
times
we're
the
talking about
Pokemon now in the air. In
You're talking about Legends. You're talking about Legends, Retro, aren't you?
Oh, I thought
talking
he was talking about. Okay,
no,
I thought
Scarlet
about Scarlet
Violet.
Violet.
They actually
Scarlet Violet.
improved the amount of massively the amount of Pokemons on screen. The windmills that went like 2
Legends
frames
runs
per
pretty well,
second.
I remember.
Like the windmills
I
that.
thought you enjoyed that game, Retro. Did you enjoy it?
No, wait, I thought he was talking about Scarlet and Violet.
I am.
enjoyed that game. All I'm saying with Scarlet and Violet is you can update the graphics and shit. It's still an empty overworld, man. It's still.
No,
lacking
I mean
a lot.
it's less empty because there's way more Pokemon now on screen. There can be like 30 Pokemon on screen certain
You
areas.
sound like the people for Mario Kart saying it's empty, man. Real got 100-something hours in it. There must be something to do.
I'm not
Yeah,
saying
the
yeah, they
Steam
didn't
is
change.
like-
Yeah,
100
don't give
hours
us
in
no anecdotal stuff here.
Like
I'm
they
just saying,
showed there's like
we
way
didn't
more
play- oh, I'm
Pokemon.
just saying, we
So
didn't play it, so I'm not gonna say there ain't nothing to do because I literally don't know what's in the world.
I love this game, but like to me,
You
the
never,
issues
you never
it has
played this
aren't
game.
big.
This is Scarlet and Violet.
Scarlet and Violet. I finished that one.
You played Scarlet and Violet. I thought you
Yeah,
played Legends
Scarlet and
Arceus.
I have the fucking pre-order Steelbook edition and everything, man. I finished that
Wait
game
a minute.
completely.
I don't
It's
remember
out.
you ever talking about Scarlet and Violet.
so is it
Anyway,
empty just because there isn't stuff to do, or are you saying it's empty because
remember
I
there's
did
no?
the
talking about it.
multiplayer in this game even with one
Scarlet
of
and
my friends
Violet?
and shit.
I don't remember this
Yeah.
at all.
I didn't know you
Yeah, I
played
remember
it.
him talking about it.
But
What?
they
I
did
have
boost.
screenshots on my Switch of it and stuff.
They did
All I'm
boost
saying
the
is,
amount
yeah,
of
you can make it
Pokemon.
look sharper and boost everything and stuff. I just felt the overworld was just fucking empty, man. It was like, I don't know.
Well then,
Like,
hey,
look at the
I bet
city.
you
Like,
it's-
you
it's
can
Yeah,
make
it's
it
not
look-
like
you
it's
can make it look-
bustling with
you can
hundreds
make it
of
look
people.
Sharper, but look at this shit.
I mean, what do you want? Like, you want like a crowd of 100 people like Assassin's Creed?
Look, man, come on, look at those buildings, man. That's like the Sims.
Some, we gotta
4
have some
shit.
people in there. That bit is
Well,
very
yeah, I mean,
dead.
like
I mean,
those buildings
yeah.
are literally it's literally a copy and paste of that other building next to it. This is literally Mario's missing.
Can we back
That's
it up?
what I mean,
The
and
whole-
that was my problem with the game.
Yeah.
When these Pokemon games came to Switch, can we back up to that? And all the excuses I heard, Pokemon fan, they've been working on Game Boy games and DS games all this time. They can't do good graphics. Did you see that fucking game they're making for PlayStation and Xbox? I think they can do good graphics. Can we stop making excuses for $1 billion companies? Can we stop that bullshit, please?
There are parts of this
Come
game
on.
that do look good. Like it is, I think they went way too ambitious for.
It's like, I had a
The
lot of
Switch,
fun with this game.
but there
man.
are
It
areas,
could've been
like,
way better.
I've seen some areas I'm like, yeah, this looks great. If the whole game looked like that, like this area, that looks great to me. Like for what the art style is, that looks. I mean, yeah, upon closer inspection, yeah, the buildings are. I'm not saying that it's amazing, but there are areas I think looks good.
You know what the difference is for me? Like 'cause I didn't even play the new Mario Kart yet, but how now in Mario Kart 64 you had like a square car, and now you have Mario Kart World, and there's people driving these cars. You're seeing in these cars the stuff
Yeah.
there. It's a fucking Switch. These windows shouldn't be flat fucking textures. I'm sorry, there should be shit in there, to make it a living world.
Well, that's why personally,
Now
I know,
we'll see,
you say that you think that they were being over ambitious, but I just think it's Game Freak. Personally, I think it just.
Well,
I think
oh,
it's
yeah.
I mean,
Game
Scarlet
Freak's
Violet, that's definitely the biggest world they've ever done by a long shot. Like that's.
Yeah, but again, like same was Breath. Again, we always go back to Breath of the Wild as a
Mhm.
Wii U game, where it's like I mean, come on.
Yeah, if you're not counting the NPCs, I mean, I think most of the shots look. I mean, for what it was, it looks way
It's
better.
like, for example, like Spider-Man on PS4, like even that game, which is crazy that they did that. A lot of the apartments and stuff have shit in it. Like, sure, you can copy paste that, but there's stuff in
Yeah.
it. These windows aren't flat fucking windows.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Like that's what you need to make a world alive. Like, yeah, you can make it fucking 4K 120 FPS. It's still gonna be the same fucking world.
I get that. Understandable.
And we'll
It's
see.
about the
We'll see
details
what
that
they
Game
do
Freak
with the
does
Switch
really-
2. Now, if the Switch 2 game comes out and it looks similar to Scarlet and Violet and stuff, then that's gonna be like, what are you guys doing? Like, you just
Especially
delivered
because
I
it.
don't
game is
expect-
completely
I don't expect
unsafe.
I don't want Pokemon to look like fucking Beast of what is it called?
I don't.
I don't even know.
Reincarnation. I don't want it. That's not what I wanted to look like. But it should look something similar to like fucking Power World or something. At least.
Yeah.
And
And whatever that other
would
new
think,
game is that looked
I
Pokemon-esque from
I don't
this.
even know if we need power. I think
without
you
the
can-
more because Power World kind of mixes some more quote unquote more realistic stuff.
Yeah,
But I'm
that's why I
talking
don't
about the
know- I don't know
character
about
models
power
and shit.
either, but yeah.
I mean, I'm talking about the character models. They should at least look that
What
good.
was that other one
But
that
to
looked
be
like
fair,
a
though, I
Pal
actually
World
don't
kind of
think-
game?
I will admit, I don't think the character models in Pokemon look bad. I think I think the world looks.
in the world? Yeah,
good.
the world look like ass.
I do think the
That's
character
just-
models actually look good, to be honest with you. But it's just the other, I don't know. It depends on how, like, they're going for that more anime. Like, if you look at Power World, they're going for
Character
more like,
models,
fur,
animation.
but they're going for like fur and stuff, and you may not want fur on your Pokemon, so it kind of
Yeah,
depends.
you don't got to get that crazy with it. But
Well,
I
then
mean,
it could
that's
look
what
like,
Power World
come on,
does. They do,
man.
like, more of a
I want it to
fur
look like
situation.
that rare game that's never
some of
gonna
them
come out.
texture.
That Everwild, that cell.
That
That's a
game
cell
is-
I
shaded.
forgot all about
That's
that
like
shit,
a
bro.
cell.
I forgot
That's like
all
a
about that.
really advanced looking like cell shaded technique. It looks amazing. But
You gotta
anyway,
ask
let's get
Mohammed
back to
what's the update for,
Switch 2.
Everwild.
We haven't even talked about We haven't even really talked about Mario Kart, but so far, every game I've played, I will say Bowser's Fury. I didn't really. I guess I don't have a back and forth. I've seen side by sides. It's definitely sharper, but it wasn't much of a. Wasn't like a game changer. Like Odyssey to me in New Donk City, I was like, holy shit, this is like a new game. This is like,
Really?
it looks so
I didn't
good.
try it, sorry.
It looks
I
so
was actually
good.
scared to put Odyssey in because I'm like, I'm gonna start this shit all
I-
over again.
It
I'm gonna be
looks.
stuck in this
I didn't
game
try.
again.
I only tried New Donk, so I can't speak to the others. But New Donk, just seeing the side by sides afterwards, I was like, I already saw that just playing it myself. I took a couple screenshots. This looks like there's no like jagged edges, no blurriness. There's no people walking at lesser frame rates. It's just everybody you can see is moving at 60. Everything
It looked
sharp.
like a patch.
Yeah, it was. That one was an update,
crazy.
but
Oh, okay.
that was a free
But
update.
why didn't they charge for that? See, that's what it's so confusing. It's just like you're charging for this, you're not
Yeah.
charging for that.
Well,
Do one or the other.
I'd say
You know,
Breath
like-
of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom are more significant improvements for sure. But
Yeah, I would say that too.
Mario's like they bumped up the resolution, they improved the draw distance, the texture, the level detail at distance, and then obviously it was already 60. They could have probably
I'll
pushed.
definitely have to try it one.
What else
but-
was there? Arms. It wasn't huge difference for me. I guess they
Was
just higher resolution, HDR support, and game chat. I believe they added. And then I didn't have some of the other
Echoes of
games.
Wisdom, right?
Oh, Echoes of Wisdom. Obviously, it ran smooth, but apparently it does look quite a bit sharper too in the side by side shots. And that's a 60 FPS game, and you know when it ran at 60, when I played it, it was great. But so many times it didn't, is where it draws, brings you out of the experience because you're like, oh, stuttering. But
Also, did I don't remember, did the Mario Party thing come out? And I know I just looked up Kirby because I thought Kirby came out, but that wasn't a launch thing either. I thought that was. For some
I haven't
reason.
seen anything on Kirby or Mario Party.
Yeah,
I was thinking about
gonna get Kirby, and I'm like, I didn't see it.
No,
And
I just looked up. It's August. Since when? I didn't even know that.
And I was surprised you had to go to the
August.
eShop. Had to go to the eShop to download the Zelda ones. I thought just because
Oh, Jamboree is July. I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
For some
like-
reason, I thought those were
I thought
launches.
the Zelda ones would be automatic.
It's nothing to get mad about, but it's just little things like that are just like, this should be smoother. Like if you want to sell some more patches, it should be smooth. I shouldn't have to go to the eShop.
And
That
if
shit
you
should be
went
right on my game.
if you went to it through the game, it only took you to the pay option. I had to back out, just go to the eShop, search for the games myself,
Jeez.
and or not through the game. I searched
Jank.
by name, and it brought up the paid option, and I'm like, what the hell? And then I backed out, just went over to the menu, scrolled down, and clicked on them. Then there was an option to just download the patches. It's weird.
Yeah, that's
is weird.
weird. That's weird.
But other than that, the only Switch 2 game I have is Mario Kart. It's a digital version. I had to download that. That was a code in the box. They must have decided they needed more Mario Kart bundles because mine just has a sticker on it and doesn't have it on the box.
Really?
So I think
I think to wrap it up, at least for me, I think for somebody who thought Nintendo ain't doing no patches, they're not updating any games from Switch. For somebody that would know anything at all, this is thoroughly impressive to me. Like
Mhm.
it's thoroughly impressive. So
some games I think they just patched just because they probably had to make them run right on Switch 2 for the backwards compatibility. And then it was up in the air. Was it going to boost performance? And every game that's been tested that has issues runs at a locked frame rate and hits the high. If it has dynamic resolution scaling, hits the high end the whole time. So this thing's significantly more powerful. As much as people tried to downplay, I think Digital Foundry estimated 4 to 5 times power in gain over Switch 1, which is for systems now, that's definitely on the high side of power leaps between generations. It's quite impressive. Like I said, playing with the game chat, everybody online, and just flawless playing Mario Kart. It's pretty damn impressive. Speaking of Mario Kart, when I saw reviews and stuff, I got pretty excited before the game came out. And initially I was like, yeah, it's fun. I went through the cup 50cc in handheld mode, and then we played, mostly I was just playing Sandstorm I played with initially, then Robert and Clocked It and little Cray, Roy Relapse jumped in, and we had a blast, man. We're just talking, we're doing the free roam, we're doing Knockout Tour. But there is a negative. You can't just have a friend's party go jump on Knockout Tour against other people. You have to have a friend's lobby. You have to get 24 people in your friend's lobby in order to do a proper Knockout Tour with your friends. You can't join. I can't join Robert. He joined Knockout Tour. There's no option to join him. in the random online match. There's no way to like start
You
a
could
party.
do verses. You could do
You can do the regular
races.
races, but then you
do
can't
knockout tour,
when
which
it's
makes no
full.
sense.
You can't spectate anymore. I can't sit in line and spectate Robert's race. I had to just wait till it was over, and then there's like 10, 20 seconds in between, and then when people leave, then it gives me the option to join. So they've took step back in some ways. There's no tournaments.
Yeah.
There's no replays. You can't watch your replays and see all the amazing stuff that happened in a race. No Mario Kart TV where you can edit your replays down.
That was you brought that up,
Yeah,
and
well,
I didn't even think about it. But
usually
yeah,
after the game, after you
You can't even
watch
just.
replays.
I don't know. Can you actually? Before
I
you
watch
continue
replays.
to the next race, there is a way to watch the replay, but you
Yeah,
can't
it
save the
says watch
replays.
replay.
Sorry, save the
But just that
replays.
one.
Like Mario Kart TV, you
Oh,
could
yeah.
save up to like 8 replays, and then you could edit
Yeah.
clips and
Yeah,
upload them.
I just capture it. That's what I was capturing
Okay.
my replay.
So yeah, I actually didn't watch a
That's the option.
replay.
It sucks.
I should watch a replay, but
But
when
I never liked the video quality anyway. The ones replays, so
I don't think the
It's-
capture is at 60 FPS on like the 30-second capture. I don't think it's 60 FPS because I tried capturing
No, I think it's
Zelda.
30.
probably not. Yeah, it's
But
probably
the
not.
screenshots is fast, and like you hit the home button right after, and it takes you right to your screenshots, which is cool.
Yeah,
But
that's great.
the fact that like I can't just join Robert's lobby and wait and watch spectate, like that's a step back. I mean, yeah, it's a bigger open world game now, but it's still you're still racing. Should be able to spectate while I'm waiting. Maybe they can figure that out. Maybe that's
I'm not overly worried about him. I think over time they're gonna patch this shit and update, and it'll be what we want it to be, and all these little things won't be.
I will say
at some point.
there is a way to do 3 laps on tracks if you pick a random, like the random,
Yeah,
and
random.
and it selects your random track, you race 3 laps on that track. If you
Yeah.
pick one of the tracks, it takes you from where you are to that, or kind of
To
where
the
you
track,
are
yeah.
to that track. You get like a straight line race, and there's some amazing tracks. And just playing, even in the Grand Prix where you only do 1 lap, just doing 3 laps when we did that, I was like so happy a track came up. I can't wait to do 3 laps on this track because it's so good. So that is still an issue for me. I don't care about the driving between.
I don't like the variants. Is that a thing that I don't like the fact that Mario's in that suit, and I'm not just being able to switch his suit. I don't like the fact that it's a different character, basically.
You can
Yeah.
fix that though. You can not
Yeah.
fix it. But if you hit X, it sorts all your characters together, so all your Mario's will be.
Yeah, I know, but he's still a character. It's
Yeah.
just weird to have a bunch of Mario when I can change. Why can't I just change my damn outfit? It's it's kind of.
I think it's
Well, you could just change the outfit on the fly, like if that's what you were saying.
no. It
Like,
just
like
means
you
on the
just,
selection screen probably.
you talking about just the selection?
selection screen. Yeah,
I think
Okay.
my guess is they did it because the characters all like animating and stuff, and it's like they could still do it that way. But honestly, once I figured out you could group all the daisies and peaches will all be together, I didn't mind it. At first, I'm like, I gotta scroll all the way over here to find this version of Rosalina, and then I saw the X to sort, and I was like, oh, it groups them together. That's cool.
Yeah, it'll
Um,
put it by character, but I mean,
But I was
I don't know, it's
skeptical about the drive to each race,
I was already like that.
and
Of course, I want them all together.
yeah,
yeah, you would think that'd be default instead of the other way.
mhm.
Yeah, you think that's a default thing, right?
But I will say there's
I
some.
mean, again, that's a small gripe.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, for selecting the character, but still, it make
Some of the carts are hideously ugly that have like good stats. I'm like, you did it on purpose. You gave this ugly cart good stats.
you're gonna use this card, bitch.
But the Rob the robot motorcycle is that's all I've raced on now.
some cool shit.
That thing looks so
It
good.
is cool.
Like it looks like
great.
in the camera
I've never thought of that.
in the photo shot or the what do you call it, I guess the camera mode,
Photo mode?
and you're revolving around and with the lights, especially on a good HDR TV, shit looks real. Like it looks like a real 3D object. Like it's
Oh yeah.
not like a real
Yeah.
motorcycle, but it looks like an actual 3D object where light hits it and stuff.
Oh okay. I get what you're
And
saying.
I spent a lot of time in photo mode, and that's a great addition. But I mean,
So how do you unlock characters? I'm still curious about that.
the food items.
points.
And-
No,
That's
no.
not just for clothing, that's for characters.
No,
Oh, yeah, for clothing, yeah.
So, So you first do the
Okay.
Grand Prix to unlock like this.
Oh
like,
yeah, you
6
get
main
characters. Yeah, you
extra
get characters through the Grand
You do
Prix.
Grand Prix for that, and then you have Kamek to unlock the NPC characters, which that takes a bit because it's just random. So it's literally like the Kamek will when Kamek pops up as an item,
Yeah.
everyone will turn into a specific NPC character.
Like the
And
dolphin
if it
or
happens
the
to be one you don't have, you'll unlock it as a
That
character.
is so crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So I
then-
still haven't unlocked everything. I've played 40 hours or something, which is
Why
crazy.
so many obscure characters and shit too? Like you could have
That's
saved
why
that
it's
for
I think they
good.
just
That's
went
why
crazy
it's
with
good.
it.
somebody else.
It is pretty funny to
I don't
see
know,
them.
I like-
obscure
like-
characters, but can you have some less obscure characters that
Yeah.
just get some shine? You know,
I see why Diddy's
I mean,
not
like,
in
I
there
ain't
though,
gonna
because he
lie, I
was
like
never in a
I
Mario
sent in the
game.
I sent in the chat
Yeah.
the animations for every character are hilarious. Where Rocky Wrench it's so funny. He throws a wrench at the beginning, but then when he wins, he just for some reason it's on the camera's on top of his head, and he throws the wrench up, and it just lands on his like pothole, and it just the sound effect and everything just whoop, and then it did like he won, and
Mhm.
it's just so funny.
I
and just
haven't
laugh,
played
and
as
I'm like,
any of
"That's
those
great."
characters, but it's funny seeing like the
every
tiny.
time I unlock somebody, I just start playing as them.
I need to start playing
Yeah.
as more characters. I got.
I end up honestly most of my time has been Bowser Jr. though. Once I unlocked him, I'm like I'm gonna
Yeah,
be
I love
playing
Bowser
this shit.
Jr. too.
Bowser Jr. is great, man.
I gotta
Love him.
say, as a longtime Daisy lover, she looks great in this game, and I definitely never hated her ever. And no,
Yeah, I mean, look, I never liked Daisy, and then all of a sudden I saw her in this game. I'm like, damn,
this is one of my
I
favorite
really like Daisy.
screenshots I took in photo mode.
Daisy's actually a
Yeah,
really cool
that's
character.
another issue I have, but again, at the end of the day, it's not that.
What?
The lack of Switch tracking.
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
That is,
Oh, the P-switch tracking like
Just
on the
keep it-
map.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a bummer.
That's my.
It
like,
tells you how
if I have
many, but
any
it doesn't
negative-
tell you where and how many in each
Exactly.
area.
yeah.
My negative is that the overall map, they need to incorporate some sort of tracking, some sort of like icons throughout the
There's a
map.
little Bowser's Fury.
That's
Yeah.
literally the only negative I personally have.
I don't
Other
like the
than
randomness of it. Like, I mean, so we're already in a giant open world. Can you give me some incentive to drive over there or drive there? Can
Yeah,
I see something on the map that makes
It's gonna be hard when you get
Wanna do it?
down. If you get down to like the last ones, like you're never gonna know where they're at. Like,
Oh boy,
yeah, that's why.
it's gonna be what do you call it? The shrines from Breath of the Wild and shit all over.
more like the
but
Koroks.
at least with the shrine
Korok,
the
yeah,
shrine
that's
detector,
probably more accurate.
you had
yeah,
the
yeah.
different
It tells you how
designs.
many
maybe
the
that's what's
question
gonna
mark.
happen.
It tells you how many question mark blocks are in each area and what when you get them.
Yeah, that's like if you go on the courses, it actually showcases, which again, why would they show that but not anything else? Like that's just random.
But I have found some really
Maybe
cool P
we'll get
switches.
P-switch
Like
tracker at some point.
some that
oh yeah,
a couple they could have showed to like give you a better idea of what they're gonna be that are just like completely skill based, hard to pull off, multiple attempts. My favorite so far wasn't a hard one, but I was driving around on the water. It's also beach. I hit a P switch and it's the exact original Koopa Beach from Super Mario Kart, and the music starts playing, the
That's
original
cool.
music, and you do 3 full laps, and all of a sudden other characters disappear as soon as you hit the P switch and you're racing,
hmm
and you hear
Yeah.
the music. I'm like, this
But the
is
style is very nice.
it's so good. And then driving on the, I will say on the water, I feel that really is where the free roam shines for me personally, because it's just that wave
Yeah.
race feeling. Some of the waves you hit.
it just makes me mad because I'm like, with my damn wave race. This is cool, but I'd rather have my wave race
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
There's a couple areas
this
where I was
power?
like, I got the 5 or 6 question mark blocks. I was like, yeah, I'm leaving this area. Isn't that visually impressive? So,
I think I loved exploring Crown City. That had 10 of the panels to
Did
look
it?
for, and you're climbing all these buildings trying to find different ways to get on top of the roof, and I've really enjoyed it. Like I was saying that I love the P-switch mission. I've been enjoying them a ton. I've done I think like 130 something, and it really is where it's like you be going and that's my only problem is that again the tracking, but like you be going and you run it, you bump into one and then also you bump into another one, like oh shit, that's cool. And there's a decent amount of variety. You know, obviously there's you got the blue coins, you got ones that like race into a goal. You got there's definitely like ideas of what they're gonna be. But I just love the fact that again for me it's like you have this huge world and they're making obstacle courses within that world and I'm like, oh, that's awesome. So it's like they in mind took like, okay, we have these three little mountain things and you're like you would never think, okay, well do anything with them. Then all of a sudden you hit the P switch and they got like a whole Mario level-esque thing. Like there was like this like a block that you would run on that would disappear after the switch is done, the mission is done, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And it's just like they think of they built again obstacle courses around the world, and that's what I really wanted it. And it's just such a blast
Yeah,
to
I
do.
wasn't
And then
expecting things to materialize that weren't already in the world. When
I
you hit the
wasn't
P
yeah, I
switch,
wasn't
so.
expecting that, and so it was cool to have stuff like come out in the world, and then go away afterwards. But then and then I like the panels a lot. I wasn't expecting to care for those at all. My main focus was just the missions, and then I ended up let me try doing this, and it was cool because literally I kind of view it as like you have this open world, and then each course is essentially like a town in a traditional open world. You have these little towns, and so imagine you're exploring this course in a different way you wouldn't typically by looking for these panels, and I
And you can
enjoyed it.
do
I
them all
really
in a
enjoyed it
friends
lot.
lobby. You can all be driving around, and you get
You could
if
do that too,
you
yeah.
get
Which
that
I
it
wasn't
saves
too
it
sure if it was
towards.
saved,
Yeah, it
but it
saves
did
it
save.
towards
It does
your
save.
each total. So I got one, and I told the guys, "Hey, come where I'm at. I just found one," and then they drove
Yeah, we
over.
went to Bowser's Castle, and that's how we started helping each other out to try to
That
find the
was
panels,
pretty cool.
which
So
is
that can
very,
be a more
which was cool.
interactive experience.
Yeah.
So
The
yeah,
Which I've been
airship
enjoying. Again, more than half
in
my
the
time has
sky.
literally been free roaming. I've been loving it, and
you can
I've
get
been
in
enjoying
a helicopter picks you up and you can steer it. You can have a UFO sucks you up and you
it.
control
UFO.
it.
You have a
Like stuff they
submarine
didn't
sort of
show in
thing,
the
Like
like
a
direct.
plane. You're
Hmm?
driving across plane wings and shit. Like, what the fuck?
yeah,
This
yeah.
is
They
I didn't
have
see
that.
that.
Yeah, there's a mission.
yeah,
There's a mission where you go to the city, and that took me a few tries. Where it's like you have to
yeah,
get on the
and the
back
plane
of
fly.
three planes, and the planes
Yeah,
start flying faster and faster. And I'm like, ah, shit! And I keep
Are
messing
you
up, messing up, messing
saying
up. And
are
then
you
you got it.
saying you enjoy that mission, T?
I just thought it was cool. It surprised me. That one surprised me. I was like, okay, I got some variety here. Because I was hitting a lot of like blue coin shit, and it was giving me some.
There's a good amount of blue coin for sure.
No, there's definitely
But some are
there's definitely a good amount of them. I would guess the blue coins is probably like 30 to 35%.
probably the most. Yeah,
It's
and
probably-
some
it's
are
probably the
easy and
biggest
some
chunk.
are actually pretty challenging using rail
Yeah.
grinding and
Yeah.
but I would say I'm sold on the like other than the some of the stretches between tracks when you're racing the Grand Prix or you're racing online and you're racing from one track. There's some pretty wide straight areas, but then there's also some really that feel like this should just be a track. Like there's some narrow curvy sections where you got to really use your skills and you fall off, you're screwed. It's like I just wish there was for me, perfect scenario just Grand Prix, just select the option. Yeah, I just want to do 3 laps on each track for a Grand Prix. It just makes the Grand Prix for me a little more enjoyable. But I am still enjoying the Grand Prix. And there's like 32, what is there? 32 tracks plus Rainbow Road or something? Or
Yeah, but so can't you do
I've never
what,
counted
you could do an 8? Can't you just like do
You can if you just
versus
wanna
with
race 'em, but-
computer and then
if you just want to
okay, so
race
Yeah,
then
you
you
just
can
wanna-
do 3.
and
yeah.
the what do you call it, the time trials, I don't know if it's 3 laps only, but I didn't do that one. But
Yeah, and doing time trial and ghost fucking shit, and you're like, oh, the
tough.
people, this shit is, oh my god. The strategies and shit that
Mhm.
that go from grinding on the rail to hitting the wall, all this shit that helps you.
yeah, if you're staying on
know,
just
get-
drifting on the
faster.
track, you're kind of you're
Yeah,
someone's
You-
like you
you're
got to
gonna-
get
you're
past
not gonna
that.
do well.
You got to start doing rails and wall riding to really get ahead.
yeah, you gotta wall ride and do the rails if you're gonna.
And if
do the
you
rails.
do the staff ghost ones, they do actually take like different shortcuts, so you can kind of learn some of the shortcuts like on
yeah,
the track.
yeah,
so you
yeah,
can
that's
see
what
it.
I was like, oh, that's
And
kind of interesting.
Rainbow Road.
And I was getting
is-
my ass whooped by those staff ghosts, man. I was like, damn, what are they doing? And then I saw him like,
Staff
oh,
goes, I
okay.
mean, come on, they built the
Mario
fucking
Kart 8
game.
had staff ghosts that were really good too. I remember. That's how I
The
learned.
N64
They better
had
be
the same
good, dude.
thing. They were like brutal.
But
Yeah.
I gotta say, Rainbow Road is just glorious. It's fucking so glorious.
It's
Yeah.
it's amazing.
If you have not
It
played it,
is
do not look it up because it is a
Yeah, you gotta
genuine
experience it.
experience. Yeah, it is the greatest track in the game, to be honest with you.
Clocked it said he
One
kept going into
epic
photo
accident-
mode in the middle of his first time through the track.
I did too. No, I took legit like 10 photos my first race around Rainbow Road.
I was just
I
taking
didn't do that. I want
screenshots.
to enjoy it. Like I'll do it next time.
Yeah.
But
Well,
right now I'm just
and
gonna enjoy it.
the music, it like perfectly times with the next segments you're going to, and it's just like, holy shit, it's just one huge adventure that is incredible.
And I will
Incredible.
say,
Yeah.
one of the things I was hoping for seems to have come true with the Switch 2. With bigger size games means less compression and better hardware. I put just Xenoblade Chronicles X. I mean, it's not even a Switch 2 upgrade. There's no other than just to update it to play. I don't know if it was placebo effect or what. I immediately heard surround sound activity. I don't remember hearing playing Xenoblade Chronicles X. I had 20 hours in the game before I played on Switch 2. Mario Kart World sounds incredible. I was playing Tears of the Kingdom with what happened? Actually, Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Watching a cinematic Breath of the Wild when you do the tower goes up and Ganon, Blight, whatever comes out. The bass was incredible. I've never heard that clean, that good of bass on that system from my Switch. Like the sound quality is definitely. It must just have a better way to processing the sound, and obviously the Switch 2 edition games have their larger file sizes, so maybe they gave more to the audio. It's less compressed. I'm not sure, but I was like, I'm in like sound heaven playing these games. Like it's so good. So
Yeah, I was surprised today because I did an experiment. I took my Switch 2 to school. I wanted to see how the kids react to it. So they were very excited when they realized I had the Switch 2 there. Super excited. Like, what? You brought your Switch 2? Oh my God. So I hooked it up, and then there was no way I was gonna let get their sticky, grubby hands on my new Switch 2 controller and the Joy-Con. No way. So I brought a bunch of I should have brought it over here with me. You've seen no. I don't have Joy-Cons anymore. Other than the one that I have in my the Zelda OLED one, I don't have any Joy-Cons. None of them work.
Oh.
So I have a bunch of those. Just you bought them too. The
third party,
the wireless ones that work.
I forget what they're called. I feel like I have.
There are a couple different companies have make the same one.
Yeah, a couple different companies that looked exactly the same. I was having fucking major issues keeping everybody connected. Like as far as like they kept dropping. It kept dropping the controllers, and it got a little frustrating.
Well,
so
those
I think
controllers probably pretty cheap Bluetooth though.
But I think I thought maybe was that a Switch 2 thing? And I'm like, I don't think so. I think I just think it was that many because you're talking about 2, 4, 6, 8 different fucking Joy-Cons, third-party Joy-Cons, and it was just I think the Switch like what is it going on this shit?
Well, Clocked It
was
was
too many signals.
Who made any of this? They're like, who made this one?
Right.
Clocked It was
Who made
playing four-player split screen, and he didn't say he had any issues with his controllers. I wonder if it was how far away were they?
It worked perfectly. They were like right in front of it. When it worked perfectly. They had no issues. My question: can you do free roam 4-player split screen? Because I could not. It's not a thing, right? Because that's one thing they were very excited about. It's like, oh, let's do free roam.
Is it even split screen?
I'm like,
no, I think it's a solo. It's a solo like thing.
Yeah,
solo
free roam
online.
Online, right? You can't do it like in the same room, split screen, free roam. I'm like, there's no console can handle 4 people going in 4 different directions,
but
doing whatever the hell they want on
in
one
the
screen.
online lobby.
That's true.
You can do free roam in the online lobby with split screen because in between the races you just drive around.
Split screen, yeah, that's true. Yeah,
and Sandstorm's buddy Action Jack, he's doing split screen with his son, and in between matches you can set the time in between each race, and it was set to like a minute or whatever initially. Okay. And we were driving around.
I was super excited to see them play the free roam.
But I don't know about 4-player, but split screen
it couldn't get it to work.
But it didn't even show up. Only in between the races, and you don't have to start a race right away. You can just drive around for an hour before you even start any races. So they were doing it split screen. So
that's true. Yeah.
I think that's the only way. I don't think you can just do it.
So yeah, I guess you got to go online, then split screen, and then just drive around.
Yeah, well, I only had one Switch, so it
Well,
was
for
No, of course, of
now,
course.
it's you.
No, you could technically, even if it's
I
just
said
you,
for now, it's
technically
Steve.
you.
He's gonna have like 4 Switches before the year is over.
Oh no, I don't think so.
How was it
I might
connecting
get another
those
one.
controllers though? Did you
don't-
do the little sync thing, the little sync button?
Yeah, they synced fine. Yeah,
Mm.
that was no problem.
I will
but
say,
they kept dropping.
So my review of the Switch 2 Pro controller, it's amazing. It's like it's so smooth, it feels
I wouldn't
soft.
know.
It's kind of slippery, but it's such a nice feeling. Like it almost feels like a soft. It's just hard plastic, but it almost feels soft.
Yeah.
Like a rubber grip
Huh.
almost.
Yeah.
These are a little small. Like people compare it to the GameCube. I guess they could be a little bigger. And these buttons on the back are little for me. Like I don't have a finger there. I have to move like that is up on the triggers, so I have to kind of. They're hard to hit for me. So people were complaining that they were easy to hit. I didn't. For me, it was the opposite.
The opposite.
The
Do you have the
sticks.
Switch 1 Pro controller?
I do.
How different is it from that? Like the shape itself?
I didn't go from one to the other, but it definitely feels a little thinner down here. But I've been playing the
yeah.
DualSense a lot, so I don't know. It's just got a nice feel.
I couldn't bring myself to pay over $100 for a standard controller. I
That's
just couldn't do it.
89,
I
but
couldn't.
well, with your tax, it might be higher. It was 89
Taxes,
for me.
Yeah, taxes. Yeah.
I paid 90 for the Switch Pro controller in Europe.
It was
90
it was
bucks.
75.
90 euros, so that's 100
Yeah.
bucks. And you can laugh, but that's what I paid.
It was 75 here, so this is $10 more. But these sticks are so smooth. Like it's hard to describe how smooth those are. My
It's funny
issue.
you say that. I think the Joy-Cons are very similar in the fact that
Let me feel.
they feel a lot. I don't know if they feel the same as that, but they just feel
They're
better than the
smoother,
Switch
but
1.
you still have like
They
a
feel better
third
than
to
the
a
S- the
quarter of
Switch
the
1
travel. Like
No, yeah, for sure.
It's-
But no, but I
I
mean,
was
like
hoping-
they feel smoother.
they
feel
are smoother. I was hoping they would almost be more like these ones where you have like
Yeah,
a lot more range, but and the audio jack, like I didn't see anybody talk about this. I was like, you know what? Let me just plug in my Turtle Beach headset and see what happens. Plug it in.
it worked.
It's got PlayStation and Xbox toggle, and I put on PlayStation. I could hear them, but they couldn't hear me, so I dropped it down to Xbox, and
Dropped it down.
it worked. I mean, I dropped the Switch down. And
You downgraded to an Xbox,
Yeah.
and then you.
The sound-
Everything Xbox is coming to Switch, so
I mean, there's no reason for you to be messing around in there, but I will say, we'll put it up to the screen there. You can see it. That little, what do you call it? The
The magnet thing?
connector,
the connector.
that
Magnet
little
grip?
connector in there, that does have some give, and I don't like that shit at all.
I saw somebody
But
just
again-
like absolutely just ripping these things sideways and said it didn't bend those.
Yeah, I was watching that too. Some dude literally. And
I don't see it
"Jesus."
being a problem unless you just fucking around in there and just pushing it.
No,
to
but
see
you
how
have to
far
like
can push
you'd
it.
have to like really fuck around because like this guy, I saw the guy he was going "Come on," and he did it and he kept doing it. And he kept doing
And it didn't
I'm
bend.
like, oh man, relax, man.
It
relax.
is sturdier than the Switch rails though. Like it's not
I don't think
flawless.
it's that much dirtier, but it
It's
does
like-
still have some give. But
Yeah.
again, unless you're trying the thing, you shouldn't be bending it. Like it shouldn't
Yeah.
bend on its own.
But
I'm
I mean,
surprised. When they said the rumors about it being a magnet, that's not gonna work. How are you gonna do that? That's gonna go work.
Yeah, me too. I
And
was
it's
like, what are you
crazy
talking
how
about?
quickly
This shit works.
this makes it come off. Like it's just like
Yeah.
instant.
All it's doing
Yeah,
is pushing
that's
up against your
crazy.
console. That's literally all it's doing. It's
Mhm.
just pushing.
Yeah, it
makes
pushes
it-
it away.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
It's
not
generally
quite as
really
sturdy
impressive.
as people were saying, but it's still good. But the screen size, it's noticeable.
Oh, absolutely. What?
people-
is
That's another thing. I'm a little jealous of people who don't have handheld PCs. Like, I would think I would love this build and all that stuff a lot more. Like, I would not that I don't love it. I just say it would be more impactful to me if I
Yeah.
didn't own a fucking Legion Go or if I didn't
Yeah.
own a Steam Deck, because if I went from like the Switch thing, like I'd be like, what the fuck? This is crazy. But because I have a Steam Deck and because I have a Legion Go,
But Steam Deck's
I'm
only
like, it's
7
not.
inches, isn't
It
it?
doesn't blow my mind.
No, but the
No,
Steam Deck
yeah,
is bigger than the Switch 2. Like, it's bigger.
But the screen itself is
Yeah.
smaller. I
Yeah,
will
but when you
say
just
I'm
see
just-
all you
But,
see
I
is
mean-
side. You know, you just see this big ass.
Actually,
thing,
let's
like,
put these
that
bitches
looks pretty
together,
damn
right?
close. I didn't know which one you had.
Yeah. So that's.
So it's smaller, but yeah.
You still think
It's
it's
a decent
close?
amount smaller, yeah.
Right.
I will say
So-
though, someone tested and just turn off HDR. You're not gaining anything, and you're just losing colors. The Switch
Yeah.
2 brightness is 450 nits in SDR and HDR. So the HDR, for whatever reason, the colors are more muted, which should be the opposite. It should be better colors. That's the only real negative, and
What
obviously
about protectors?
I got
or
a screen
protective-
protector coming tomorrow and a case.
Okay, I was wondering who went that extra mile, because this is like the
I did.
first. Well, let's see.
This is
not
the longest I've
first,
ever had
second.
a Nintendo
Yeah.
handheld without a screen protector on it.
Yeah, this is definitely.
Wait, did you have a screen
Me
protector for
as
the
well.
3DS?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. Like, as soon as I
What-
got
what
it,
did you
That's
protect it
crazy.
from?
the top screen and at the bottom screen too. But
Yeah, because the fucking you close
especially the
thing
bottom
and
screen
fucking-
with that stylus, I had one on the DS and
Yeah.
the 3DS.
Really? I never
Mm.
had that. I didn't even know they sold those.
Have
I
you
didn't
ever
know that was
seen a
thing.
scrap
Oh,
people
oh,
who
yeah.
go like that with their stylus screens get really destroyed?
Well,
I
people
was
are
done
dumb,
that.
man.
that.
Stylus
I have no
screens.
problem with my screens.
Yeah, I never have a scratch at all. That's.
Hmm.
I don't know.
When I play like Final Fantasy Theater Rhythm and shit, man, I destroy that screen. There's
I
nothing.
played
on
so
it.
much Scribble, not Scribble, Flipnote Studio where it's literally just drawing, and never. Had
Yeah, I
a
wish I
problem.
would have had a screen on the ready, but like I wasn't 100% sure I was getting one, just because I didn't know if I'd be able to.
Yeah.
Some other things. I had this. I got it Thursday, and on Friday I didn't play it. I didn't turn it on till like late. So from Thursday night to like Friday night, I was like, all right, I'll just take it off the dock. It was warm, like warmer than my body temp. The cartridge inside was warm, and I'm like, this thing should have been charged. Why is it still this warm? I remember that
Yeah.
happened with the Switch initially, where people were like, yeah, leave it out of the dock if you don't want it. Charges all the time.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I'm like,
Is there any people talking about the dock scratching the screen or any shit like
I
that?
haven't heard
No,
about
no.
that, but someone said to drop the charge so it charges only to 90%.
90% or
Yeah, the
whatever.
90. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. That's actually smart.
I tried that on my phone.
But
I didn't
the
like
dock
it.
is much better in this. It has.
The dock
Look
has
at the interior. It's like a smoother kind of film,
Mhm.
kind of plastic on the inside.
I
which
felt like
I'm
it has.
So
I
where do
mean,
you
I could be
set
wrong, but
that?
it felt like it had a slightly more wiggle room in the dock. Like I remember when I first placed, I'm like, it feels like I'm able to like
more
move it a
wiggle
little
room.
bit. Yeah, a little bit more wiggle room. I feel like if you compare it to the Switch One.
So where would you set
I don't
the?
think so. I think it's
No,
Switch
but
one
like
moved
I
a lot
have my
more.
I placed my Switch One, and then like it felt like it was like I can move it more than the Switch One. Because I
Where-
literally I still haven't boxed up. My Switch One is docked right behind my Switch 2 because I don't know where else to put it. It's literally just sitting there docked. And then when I placed it, it was like I was able to like move it. Like, I was like,
Stand by. I unhooked my Switch One. It's Switch 2 from
yeah,
here.
I
I'm
unhooked
cool.
it, but it's still docked, just sitting there because I don't know where I'm not.
Oh yeah, I
putting
mean
it.
I took the dock and
This-
everything. and put it
You
away.
want to watch?
yeah?
You.
Well,
I was
it's super thin, so I just put it behind.
Yeah.
system. Funny thing is, I was downloading like, I think the Tears of the Kingdom update, and just booted up Hollow Knight because it finished and downloading that, and I was like, I'll just boot up Hollow Knight. I just had pulled it off the dock, and before I even started playing, it was already at 93% just from taking it off, checking the downloads, and booting up Hollow Knight. This Switch 2 was already at 93% because it was downloading. I played Hollow Knight for like 3 minutes and went back to the menu, and it was like 83% in like less than 10 minutes. But I was downloading like multiple things. It was still.
Maybe it's good that I can't get the Switch 2 yet. I'll get the Switch 2 Pro in like a couple months.
The extended battery.
You'll start
edition,
talking about that shit by the end of the year. Switch 2
Oh
Pro.
man, in a month at the max, they're already gonna be starting.
Yeah, I'm
talking
sure
about
they're
that.
already talking about it.
People already talking about, man, I can't wait for the Switch 2 OLED.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna look incredible. I'll probably upgrade.
It is, you know.
Yeah, but that'll be.
That's, what,
I mean, you
that's
would
why I
assume.
said I'll probably get 2 Switches because that'll be my other Switch, the OLED.
I will
when they
say
drop
though,
that.
I had my OLED and my Switch 2 sitting next to each other, and I had Breath of the Wild and the OLED and Tears of the Kingdom with the update in the Switch 2, and I both went to Hitano Village, the observation, whatever where Pura is. I forget what it's called. And I was at the with the facility in the background on the cliff around the same time of day, and I was like, honestly, if I didn't know which one was supposedly the 1080p screen, I could barely tell the difference other than the frame rate when I moved the camera. I was like, these games look pretty much the same on the handheld, so it's not like a huge leap over the OLED, but it's definitely not a downgrade in my opinion, other than like the blacks. If a screen was all black, you're not gonna get that, but not bad. I'm pretty happy with the screen, and even with the HDR turned off, it still has really good, very colorful, very vivid. So, and you know, I think for me the size difference was definitely noticeable, and yeah, like I said,
I must say this podcast has had a big lack of fast fusion talk.
I didn't
Did
play
nobody get fast fusion?
No.
God
I
damn.
didn't.
Clock that dead, and he played that.
It clocked.
What are your thoughts? You played Cyberpunk on the TV, you played Mario Kart, you played Fast. What stood out like the best to you, or visually? What do you think? What stood out the most to you?
Well, I mean, hands down, it's fucking Mario Kart. Shit looks amazing. Shit looks super clean, vibrant. Yeah, don't be running in that bitch on 1080p on your 4K screen because you're gonna miss all of it. But yeah, it's fucking gorgeous. But Fast RMX, Fast Fusion looks fucking glorious too. That game looks really good. I'm not as, I don't know, I guess this time around, because it's not an unknown thing like it was with the Switch 1. It's not as like mind blowing for me.
Pretty much the same
early on
game experience. You're saying like they didn't really.
Yeah. No, there is some gameplay differences. I mean,
you still switch colors though, don't you?
Still switch colors, but you know there's some differences with that. I think the tracks are a little bit more inventive this time around. But yeah, it's not impressing me as it's like just a factor of like how much shit I've been playing games like that since that came out. But Cyberpunk looks great, and I mean, obviously, like I said, I was playing it on Xbox, and then I went over to Switch 2, and so there's definitely a difference. It's like, yeah, I'd rather use an Xbox when I'm on my big TV, but it looks fucking gorgeous on the screen. The Switch 2 looks great. No complaints. It definitely looks better than what I was seeing from the fucking Steam Deck version. I didn't like that at all. And yeah, it looks great. I'm thoroughly impressed.
Yeah, I was
what I've seen so far.
that first night I was kind of feeling that, well, I got Mario Kart and Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild is my closest like next thing to like a Switch 2 game to look at. I didn't think about Fast Fusion honestly that first night.
Yeah.
Just forgot about it, to be honest, but I was like, yeah, it would be nice to have like an actual Switch 2 showcase game. And I honestly, I don't know if Donkey Kong's gonna be that, or because of what
I feel it would be Donkey Kong. I wish fucking Metroid Prime 4 was here.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I was thinking that was going to be a launch title, I was not worried about anything. I was like, okay, that's going to be my big adventure game at launch. I ain't gonna be worried about nothing. But obviously we didn't get that. But it's not. I don't know. I was trying to compare it to other launches, like my fall off. How long did it take? I don't think I have a fall off because there's so many fucking Switch 1 games I'm just running through, looking at.
Yeah, the backwards compatibility is a huge plus over Switch 1.
It's a huge plus especially for me. It's a huge plus. but I was thinking about, okay, well, GameCube, like you would choose 4 hours or something. You were pretty much like, all right, I ran through everything, I'm good. I'm gonna go back to my Dreamcast. That's something you was saying. I'm like, yeah, I kind of felt that way too. But Mario Kart World is big enough that it's keeping my interest. But I still,
You gotta,
again, I
you gotta
know
play
me,
with,
I
man. We
still
had a
want that
blast just
one.
playing with the game chat, and we were having a good old time.
Yeah, I just missed you guys because I was already playing, and then you guys started to, oh, you ready to get on? I'm like, I've been playing this shit for 3 hours right now.
My thumb
I
gets
gotta,
pretty
I gotta
sore,
get my,
actually.
I gotta get my hair did. I gotta get my hair did. So I had to
See, I'm not
bounce.
just
Um,
YouTube
Yeah,
video. I'm not blown away
usually
by.
start like at like 4 p.m. around that time.
Okay,
That's what
so
you
I'll know
usually
this
do.
time.
Yeah,
So I'll
yeah.
just get all my shit done.
And I got
bullshit around.
I got Tuesday, tomorrow, and Wednesday off. I don't know if your school's out yet or gonna be out this week or not, but
No, we don't. The school I teach at, we don't get a summer break.
oh no.
We
Oh, that's right. I remember you were talking about that.
we get a week before and a week after. That's it. We don't have a full summer break. So we
But
do get Fridays off. That's
that's
so
cool.
I'll have an extra day. But yeah,
I gotta say, watching this YouTube footage of Fast Fusion, to me, I'm not that impressed with the visuals. Like,
Looks sick.
I still don't understand what you mean, man. I think
You
they
gotta
just-
see it.
Great.
I think you gotta see it firsthand. It's just fucking
I still
To
think
me,
this looks
I mean, it's not-
way better than RMX. Even.
I
Like I
mean,
don't know.
maybe
Like
there's
to me,
just-
genuinely, like I'm looking at these backgrounds and I'm like, yeah, that shit looks like to me like I'm like.
See,
I'm
this is my
comparing
issue
to, like,
with it.
Death
This is
Stranding.
why, like, the menu, and I understand, and we got like 10 fucking
Mhm.
employees. I get, but I wish it was a little bit more pizzazz in the presentation.
it looks very similar to
This
their
is
previous.
very similar,
can't-
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. I don't know. I don't think I'll be picking
And it
this up.
sounds similar, and
Like look at I don't know. To me, I'm like, yo, that shit is impressive.
how are you looking? Cause I'm looking at it right now, and it looks like it's 10 frames per second.
No, it's 10
Is
frames
that
per
how you see
second.
it
But,
on you?
but
It
the
should be.
backgrounds look
It's
to me
60.
look impressive as shit.
It's for.
Like,
This game looks
race
fucking
in
beautiful.
space earlier and everything. It looked fucking sick.
This game
like,
looks beautiful.
Look at the shadows of the coming through. I don't know. This shit looks
I'm
crazy. to me.
thinking now, man, I gotta pick this up when I gotta switch. This looks great.
Yeah, I gotta pick it up just.
I
to
mean, I had a
support
good
it,
time
'cause,
with
yeah.
Fast RMX, but there was nothing else besides Breath of the Wild. I mean, I had Bomberman, but I didn't really care for that game. So this was it. Breath of the Wild and Fast RMX, and then Snake Pass got me by. But honestly,
I feel Snake Pass got so much hype because of some drought shit.
it was
I
kind
don't
of
know,
it was
it's
kind of a cool
crazy,
idea.
It was a good game.
It was better with analog
I
triggers.
still play Snake. I still like that game. That game's fun to
Yeah,
me.
It was a lot better with analog triggers. It was kind of hard to do with the Switch digital because you needed some finesse.
I don't disagree. I probably wouldn't have gave a shit
Yeah.
about the game. I would have been looking for a game had it not been for the quote unquote
sure.
drought on Switch One. But I'm glad I did get to play because it is a really good game.
All right,
sure,
so
for
sure.
let's.
Very
I got some like my biggest like best surprise and maybe like something that's disappointing just to kind of wrap this up. The best surprise was that this audio jack works for the microphone
Well, it is
for
a
game
surprise.
chat,
Yeah, it's true.
and
It's
the
literally a surprise.
it was really good quality with the game playing games that way. So I don't have to. It worked with my Xbox and PlayStation headset, so that was really cool. The HDR was I was worried that Nintendo wouldn't do HDR right. It looks phenomenal on my TV. Some people are saying they have, obviously had issues with it setting their TV wrong, but I'm just blown away. Like I turned off the HDR no matter what. I didn't really see that much of a difference, so I turned it right back on. Like Xenoblade Chronicles X doesn't have HDR, but I thought it looked better with it forced on. So I'm just really impressed with the whole technical side of things. The game chat, people, but no online lag playing Mario Kart. It was just I was really impressed. I guess the negatives would just be to me it's not in its current form. It's not gonna be very comfortable for me unless I'm laying down and have the system setting on like a pillow or something on my chest. I don't see myself. No way I can play it like holding up. It has to be like sitting in my lap. So that's for me. That's a bit of a bummer. Yeah, I can't think of any other some missteps in the Mario Kart. I wish there was or the game chat. I wish you could just send an invite to somebody and add them. You have to get it out, close it out, and redo it with everybody invited at once. Stuff like that. But overall, I'm very happy. I think the 450 base price, from now that I see the power of this thing, that's more than justified in my opinion. It's a worthy upgrade over the Switch, and I'm glad I got it. So
My biggest negative is that I can't get it yet. My biggest shock is that you actually did get it. Man, I was so convinced by all this shit. Because to me, it was like,
Why
yeah.
are you shocked? We know
Just like
terminated
to
Juice
me,
at this point.
I was
No,
shocked.
no,
Man. I was
bullshit.
not
Listen,
surprised.
To me,
I told you in the last
sounded-
podcast, all right, this terminated
it's
Juice we're
because
talking
of the
about.
way I see,
You did
it's
say
because
that.
of the way I see Juice, man. To me, it all sounded like, yeah, this is Juice. This makes sense. He hates all this new Nintendo shit. He's this graphics hoe. He doesn't care about this shit, you know. I was convinced he wasn't fucking gonna get it.
were you
There's no
surprised?
way
Did you
on the
watch
planet.
that video clip I sent that
So when I
morning?
watched the video, I was like, oh man, this is like a sad video for the controller. And then you went on about the bag. And I was like, Robert, I'm like, yeah, it's a nice bag, I guess. And I was like, wait a minute. He's going on an awful lot about this bag. And only like a second before you pulled it, it like clicked. I was like, son of a bitch.
I had recorded one in the truck where I was like, I'm at Myers.
I
and
didn't even look at this. I was like, what that? He's put this on his Switch. I was like, I don't have to look at that shit. I already know.
I did
what's
one
going on.
earlier where I was like, yeah, I'm at Myers at 6:15. I completely forgot I came here and they didn't have any, that sucks. And I was gonna be like, but on the good side or good note, I got a Switch too. I recorded it. And I was like, I think I
that'd
can
be
come up
funny
with something
too.
better. And when I got home, the Pro Controller was sitting on my steps. So, but anyway, you got what's like a positive surprise, a good thing, something you maybe weren't expecting that you love, or just something you were expecting that turned out you still love, and maybe something a gripe or here or there. Either of you guys?
Well, I would say I guess two things that I'm surprised that is. Well, I guess I'm not surprised by one of them, but the surprise is the mic. I really am surprised about how good Game Chat is and how the mic works. I think it's super impressive. Like I said, the only thing you're able to hear was my Alarmo, which is funny because it's a Nintendo product, and I bet you they did somehow program it where you could still hear the sounds of Alarmo somehow. But everything else
Hilarious.
around me, I had a dog barking outside. I don't think you ever heard
Yeah,
that.
my
Like,
cat
there was-
meowed. You said you didn't hear it.
I didn't hear that. No, so it's like for some reason they programmed it. Only the person that is holding a controller used their voice. It's the weirdest thing. I don't even know how it works. But yeah, it's crazy. And then obviously this game right here, Mario Kart World, I'm in love with it. And I've already put in 40 hours. I've not touched any other. It has not closed out of my system, and I've not touched any other game on the Switch 2. And I don't need to touch any other game other than probably Ring Fit Adventure to work out for quite a while. And it's amazing, and it's everything I wanted it to be. It's like a pure single player Mario Kart plus it's the traditional what you love about Mario Kart, and it's awesome. So yeah, negative wise, I mean, I don't know. We have to go to sleep, which is unfortunate. That means I can't play more Mario Kart. So I'll say that.
Mario Kart, it's great, but it's not. I'm not playing 8-hour sessions like Breath of the Wild at launch. Like a couple hours.
I was, but literally, I have not. But it's just been.
I need,
If I look
like-
at my times, it's 8, 10, 9.
Like, that first time I booted up Tears after 3 hours of Mario Kart, it was just like serenity. I was just so at peace playing that opening again. I'm like, I needed this. Like, and plus my thumb was sore. I wasn't used to. I haven't played Mario Kart like 5 years for holding that A
yeah,
button.
my thumb has been imprinted with a circle.
What about you, T? I think you already probably said some, but just to reiterate.
Let's see. Surprise. I'll start with surprises. I'm surprised at how much it design, even though we've seen so much of it even before Nintendo wanted us to see so much of it. Like, if you're coming from like a Switch, just a one, the day one or the early ones, before the OLED. Like, if you're coming from that to a Switch, oh my God, you got to be thoroughly like, oh my God, this is one of the best
Yeah.
handheld devices I've ever had in my life. Like, this bitch is like, it's a
Night and
beautiful
day.
design. It's night and day from that plasticky ass. I say it now. I like my Switch when it came, but looking back at it now, like, yeah, it was super plasticky. I hate it when it started to melt and the fucking, pieces literally started falling off of it from the grill, with when the air, what do you call it, the
vent.
air vent and all that shit. When that shit started air, yeah, when it started heating
Exhaust.
up and falling to pieces, the exhaust, right? But this thing here, the build quality on this is phenomenal. I'm thoroughly impressed by that. Thoroughly impressed by the Joy-Cons and
And
how
the thermals on it
the
after
fucking
playing
magnets
all
jets
day.
work. Yeah,
It wasn't even that warm.
it doesn't get that hot. That's super impressive to me. As far as like launch goes, yeah, it's the same thing that I was worried about beforehand. I just can have one adventure game to go with my racing game. I would have been in heaven. It would have been like I don't need a bunch of, I don't need, GameCube launch levels of games or fucking Dreamcast. I don't need that. You give me the two games that I can bounce back and forth between. For me, on N64, everybody's like, "Oh, there's only 3 games that come out at launch." Bitch, they gave me Pilot Wings, where I got to do a bunch of different vehicles and shit, fly around, and they gave me Super Mario 64. I'm good. Like, that was a great, to me, that's a good enough variety to hold me over till the next big thing comes out. So if Donkey Kong, like, I think Donkey Kong was ready. I just think maybe they were hoping it would sell better. If they, a nice group of people that had to switch to, instead of just making it a launch game, they kind of got lost in the shuffle next to Mario Kart. I think they were worried about that. I'm sure the game's ready. I'm sure the game was ready for launch. They just, they did what they did with Smash. I think it's like, oh, we want to separate Smash on GameCube.
Mm-hmm.
We want to separate Smash out, and because there's no way the game wasn't 2 weeks. You use the launch bitch for 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Like, So I just think, and Pikmin as well. They wanted to give everything breathing room. So I just wish, but again, the vacuum of Mario Kart World is probably just too big. They just were worried about putting something else out next to it.
I hope I'm completely wrong in that Donkey Kong is going to be this amazing game, and that just like the opening area they showed is not even close to the things you're going to do, because if it isn't that game for me, then who knows when Metroid Prime 4 is coming out. So
my worry about Donkey Kong is that I'm gonna be just trying to smash the entire world as much as I can. I'm gonna just break everything in the fucking world that I can break, and see what's left that can't be broken. And that, because my OCD, like, I want to just destroy everything that's destroyable, destructible. I just made up a word. Yeah. Destroyable. You're a teacher, goddamn. But yeah, like that. That's what I want to do. So I'm sure you won't hear no more complaints from me once I get Donkey Kong in my hands. I'm gonna be good to go.
So here's the question,
Switch launch goes.
Hey, only 1 month. Not
are
too
you
long,
are
not
you
too long.
actually gonna play Cyberpunk this time? You're actually gonna?
I'm in. I'm playing Cyberpunk. Like, I'm in right now. I'm already in. Took the Switch 2 to get me there. I'm in.
Clocked it said he booted it up.
I'm gonna play.
Clocked it had his 2 daughters sitting there. He goes to the character creation screen, and you can like choose like the penis size and breast size. And he said he got through
I already
that.
got past all that on Xbox.
Oh, so you continued.
I was good.
But then he said the opening cinematic was all like just super cuss words and stuff, and he's like,
"Oh yeah."
But I mean, I liked it. Don't get me wrong; it just has some jank to it for sure. And
I'm glad I didn't play it earlier when I bought it. There was a lot of issues still with the game, and that kind of kept turning me off. That's why, one of the reasons I didn't play it. But I honestly just needed the Switch too, because I'm gonna be gone, and I wanted it to be presentable enough, to where I'd enjoy playing it and not looking at it like, man, I wish this would look a little better. It looks great to me on Switch 2 screen, and so I'm definitely in now. I'm gonna finish the bit this time for sure.
And I don't know. We'll see what happens. But there was only the Switch 2 logo only showed up in one game during the Xbox. It was Tony Hawk's 3 and 4 remake.
Tony Hawk.
So they could definitely were allowed to show
I-
Switch 2 logo, but were
Oh
they
no,
holding
but
something back?
remember we were talking about that? Supposedly that was already. Oh yeah, it was already announced. Remember that was in the direct
Oh,
for.
yeah,
that was
that's-
announced before. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
So yeah,
'cause
we'll
I'm
see.
not surprised.
We'll see what's coming for third-party games, but
You think Nintendo's gonna allow Xbox to announce a bunch of games?
That's what I was
You
saying.
know,
That's
even
what
if it's their
I was
games?
saying that too. I think they want to do it themselves. I think they want to have a
Yeah.
direct. and-
what
wanna
about
hype
but
up
what
the
about
Switch.
Microsoft's? If Microsoft is bringing games to Switch, don't you think Microsoft would reveal that?
Yeah, I think they'll probably be in the direct presenting. Some of
I
that
think they would
stuff.
be in the
That's what I
direction,
think.
Okay.
like I'm talking about like Gears of War and stuff like that. I think
Yeah.
you know they clearly talk buddy and buddy, and I'm sure they'd be like, you know, a lot of Nintendo fans would appreciate if we reveal this in our direct, and it would just be a
Yeah,
bigger.
I
splash.
hope you. I mean, I'm not saying it
It's
doesn't really
also,
matter.
Like, if you show in an Xbox stream that game is gonna go on Switch 2, Xbox guys aren't gonna give a shit. Whereas if
Yeah,
you-
that's right.
If you
Though.
show
But they-
Xbox games and a
They
Switch
made a
thing,
point to say that they
Switch
weren't going to
people will
hide
care.
anymore if the game's on
Exactly.
another platform.
Exactly.
So we'll see. Do you think
Yeah.
there's going to be
I
a
think they're
direct
hiding. I think Nintendo was like,
Yeah,
oh yeah,
like this
Oh, yeah.
week or next week?
I mean they always
Bef-
do one in June.
before
essentially, right?
Donkey
So it's
Kong?
like,
yeah.
it's definitely before Donkey
It's
Kong.
gonna be
absolutely.
before Donkey Kong.
Yeah,
I
it
think
has
it's
to
gonna
be
be before
before
Donkey Kong.
So I mean, you
Yeah,
got
I'm
4
pretty sure
weeks.
they're gonna show a new Donkey Kong trailer in that direct for sure before it launches.
Yeah, yeah.
And we got
Oh, yeah.
Prime
Oh, yeah.
release
We're gonna get
date
more
still. We
than-
got Kirby
That's
Air
what we
Rides
get. Yeah,
footage.
Yep,
Imprisonment,
yep,
Age of
yep.
Imprisonment, barely seen any footage, no release date. So
Yep.
but-
Stuff like that.
yeah,
I think
so
we're gonna be thoroughly impressed with the direct. That's what I
this
think.
truly does feel like a
Yeah.
next generation system. Like people are like, oh, it's just a more powerful Switch. I see that narrative. I'm just
Yeah,
not. I
well,
don't even
Sure,
want to.
then.
I scroll right past. I don't even want to
Yeah, I don't
acknowledge
get it.
those
I
people.
don't get it.
Even
I
Robert.
clicked off so many goddamn videos, bro. Like it's some of this bullshit
Robert shared one.
out
and
there. I'm just like, nope, not watching
girl
this shit.
thought it's just so much like the Switch. They're obviously going to come out with a new system in 2 years. No, they're
Yeah,
not.
it was.
Stupid.
Yeah, what?
What?
She said, oh, you know, I think, you know, in 10 years, the 10-year anniversary of the Switch 1 is coming out, so I think in 2 years they'll probably release a brand new
Basically,
console. Since
the real.
this is just
si-
upgraded.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
and I'm like, what? I'm like, bro, this is the new generation. This is your Nintendo console for the next 8 years. Like, what
This
are you
is
talking about?
$450, $500. This is it. This is
Yeah,
the
and-
console. What are you talking
This
about?
isn't a stopgap. What are you talking
and it's a
about? Like,
It's not a stopgap.
significant. It's a significant leap.
It's
over Switch
significant
1.
leap.
It's
Yeah.
a
Massive
huge leap. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the operating system's identical. The captured friend. I called that long time ago. I said it's just going to be the same friends list. Just see what they're playing. You're not gonna be able to invite them to games or party up. You know, that's disappointing. I wish they would have did something like that. But
Yep.
for what it is,
You
what they
didn't
do
even
have.
get a gray theme, man.
No.
That's all I wanted.
No.
Yeah, like I played around in game. What the fuck am I playing in GameCube for? I got fucking.
I checked out Soul
ready
Calibur.
GameCube. Like,
Um,
what am I doing here?
Soul
Like, but I
Calibur
still
looks-
play this shit.
Soul
Shit
Calibur
clean
looks
as
pretty
hell.
good.
It's clean.
It doesn't feel
Yeah, it
right
looks
though.
clean. It
The button layout wasn't. I didn't mess.
it don't
with
feel
it.
right.
But
Like, what was I
They can
playing
put-
that I
they
was
can
just
put
like, this is
Chibi Robo
not
on there,
working.
I'll play that.
I hope they do Wave Race Blue Storm because I only rented that game and beat it that way. I never actually owned it, so I'm looking forward to playing some GameCube games. Hopefully they come.
Yeah.
They don't have Sunshine
I was
at launch
playing
though. I
something,
mean,
I'm like,
what's up with that?
control-
Probably because they got to work on it more to get it to run smooth. 'cause
Oh, you're gonna get Sunshine HD, bro.
What if
Let's
it's
do it.
60?
Remake.
what if
I
it's
was playing
60?
Perfect Dark, and I'm like, this is ass. I can't control. I can't. These controls fuck me off.
It looks
I can't
great though.
control
I was
this shit.
surprised how good
No.
the N64 games
The
look.
games look great, but I'm saying I can't. The controls,
No.
my muscle memory is N64 controller. I can't fuck with this dual analog one, and it fucks me up.
I
So,
did the whole trick, switch the controllers around, and so it works like
Yeah.
a dual analog, and it was pretty playable that way.
Yeah.
But anyway, I mean, we can't talk about the Switch 2 every week, so next week we'll talk about the Summer Game Fest, State of Play, Xbox Showcase,
We'll
and
talk
maybe
about the not E3 week.
there's some pretty cool looking games in there, but we'll talk about that next
Mhm.
week.
'Cause I haven't
Not
watched
Summer
like
Game-
any of it.
Summer
Not
Game
Summer
Fest
Game
had
Fest, it wasn't.
there was a couple of cool looking games, but nothing like, oh my god. And then Resident Evil 9, of course, was
From
pretty cool.
Capcom, 2 years ago made Summer Game Fest watchable. That's for me anyway.
That
That's how I feel
Pragmata
about it.
game looks like it could be interesting. That's from them too. Street Fighter 6 getting more characters. I wasn't too thrilled. Sagat or Sagat, whatever, however you say his name. I don't know. But anyway, let's get out of here. And I think we should do a sign up to Retro's Patreon so he can get a Switch 2. Get a GoFundMe.
We need this man in the world, in the open world.
Switch Up's doing a giveaway, so if somebody in the U.S. is doing a giveaway, you might as well comment just to say, hey,
Give it a
Sandstorm was
shot.
doing. I don't know
Never
if he
know.
already gave it. The Sandstorm was doing a giveaway. Get it signed
Is
up.
he?
For it, give- Yeah.
Fuck off.
You know. Yeah, he is.
He's gonna fuck-
Well, you got. I think he might have already announced. I don't know if it was on a live stream. You already announced it, but
You probably
you gotta
gotta
go real quick to
yeah.
see if he
But yeah,
does better.
Welcome to Craig. Welcome to is the best game ever.
but yeah, we'll be back next week, and yeah, pretty exciting new Nintendo generation, and we'll see where we go. Hopefully, in a year from now, I'm not complaining
Our
about the
last
lack
one.
of games and all the ports and all the Switch 2 editions.
Yeah.
Come on, Nintendo. Don't do it like that 2018. And come on.
All right, so we'll get out of here. We'll see you guys next week.
Peace.
So I put timestamps for the guy that always comments. I have intro.